everyone, it is Rob Sachetto coming from the studio, welcoming you into the studio. We're going to look at that shot. Look at that shot. I love that shot. Just that shot right there. You got an empty road in front of you, and you got to fill it. You got to fill it with something. So we're gonna do drawings today that are from scratch. They will be zombie, but they will be from scratch. So no reference, no anything. We have no, like, other than the fact that it's a zombie thing. I have no idea what I'm going to be doing. So we're going to do a few sketches. I'm going to use some art techniques that you guys can. I'll show you the pens and everything that I use and what I do to get those effects. So you'll see cross hatching, and you'll see hatching and feathering and all that kind of stuff. Feathering and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we'll do how many? We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll see if we can do 5, okay? Yeah, we'll see if we can do 5. So I'm just starting out. Just started drawing the other day. Yeah. I've been a professional artist for actually about 40 years. And I've worked for the Walking Dead show. I actually wrote and illustrated the Zombie Handbook. I invented zombie portraits back in 2006. And I've drawn more zombie art than anyone else on this planet. So, with that, and I've been a teacher in almost all grades. Yeah, I've done a lot in the industry in way of zombie, by way of zombie. So yes, I've been very happy and fortunate for those opportunities, and yeah, I'm just as I said, I'm kind of just doing some sketching. I don't know if any of this is going to be any good, but you know, yeah, I'm just. This is really stiff. This is really stiff, and I could go anywhere from here. Like, I can go anywhere from here. I can, like, absolutely change anything at any point. So, like, I'm looking at this going, oh, that's very stiff. So I'm going to, you know, kind of change the camera angle here, yeah, and everything basically. So, you know, and who knows? I might put like some kind of weird gas mask on him. And yeah, he's some kind of plague zombie, you know. There you go. I'm making this up as we go along. So yeah, like he's got the from what I remember from drawing gas masks in the past. Gas masks in the past. That's going to be my biography. Gas masks in the past. So check that out. And my crypto coin. My crypto coin. You bought it. I thought you said coin. Rug pull. Waving. So yes. Here we go. Just drawing, you know, doing some very freehand sketching, and finally coming to the conclusion of what I'm going to draw, but like working it out, basically sketching. And then, you know, again, I can change things wherever I want and however I want, because this is just the sketch phase, like the working out sketch phase. You know, but I kind of like that. I kind of like, he looks like a kind of insect almost. But he'll definitely have zombie traits. In fact, I might actually make his skin where all of these things are attached, like are bolted, you know. So it's actually his skin, like a Cenobite almost, you know. Cenobite plague doctor mashup. You're welcome. Yeah, and to think I hesitated. Yeah, man. I just don't want anybody to get hurt. Oh, Hellraiser, man! Like, what a great bunch of films. Like even the later ones, even the really crap ones were entertaining to a degree, right? You know, so yeah. So I'm just working this out. Like I'm like, I don't like the way that other gas mask vent thing or whatever that can go. So I'm just changing it on the fly type of thing. So it looks better, you know. Yeah. So again, just, and you know what? I'm just going, oh, maybe I'll put like, you know, some kind of vent thing there that's, you know, caged, has a caged look, you know, to make it, I don't know, to give it some other flavor. So again, that could go or that could stay. You know, we're just sketching. We're just sketching at this point, right? And working it out. We're working it out. We're working it out, Barbara. We're working it out. Yeah, and he's got like a huge, you know, he's got a huge coat, like with a giant, with a like a furry hood, kind of with like, you know, Nazi flavor. You know what I mean? Like that kind of who's the guy who's the guy who designed the clothing? I can't remember now. But that kind of Art Deco style, you know. And then it can kind of do anything. Like, okay, I'm going to make the arm ripped. And maybe, I you know what, I'm going kind of anywhere now. And I'm like, oh, maybe I'll make it like a sort of a hand. I was gonna go in a bug kind of way, but then I'm like, no, I don't like going that far. I think the helmet itself is bug enough, type of thing, is insect looking enough. I don't have to lean into it. Yes, so I'm gonna do that, and the eye. You know what? That's going to go down there. Those are going to go there, and that flesh is going to go around there. So again, like I'm sketching it out, and figuring it out. By the way, guys, if anyone was expecting a live stream last night, I'm sorry. I was going to do one, an impromptu one, basically, and not sort of talk about it on my socials, just see, you know, casually if anybody would stop in, you know, if they saw my live thing on or whatever. And but man, I was wiped and I really needed a break. So I watched Peacemaker episodes 1 and 2 of the new season, which, man, I'm buying that. I'm getting that. That's such a great. I love that show, man. I really do. Yeah, straight up. You know, you know what? The things I like. The things I don't like, I don't watch. You know, it's as simple as that, man. So yeah, that is a great. That's a show I would actually spend time on, because time is so precious, man. Like, time is so precious. That's kind of why I don't watch a lot of things. So I watched that, and I watched that Don't Blink. Is it Don't Blink? It's the one with, like, I keep thinking that guy's name. I know it isn't Josh Hartnett. He's the Magic Mike guy. You know that guy. And he's this rich guy. He's got an island. And, yeah, stuff happens on it. Christian Slater's in it, man. It was great to see him again. Yeah, and it's got other like notable actors, but yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was great. No, it was really good. I actually enjoyed it. I actually really enjoyed it. I thought, man, I'm not going to get 15 minutes into this and I'm going to have to switch. But I thought I'll give it a chance. I kind of don't know much about it, and I'm like, I'll see where it goes. I'll give it a chance. And I was pretty satisfied. I was pretty entertained by that movie, you know. So yeah, give it a watch. Give that a watch. I liked it. I thought it was like above standard for sure. You know, had some great imagery, and yeah, it was really good. I thought. I don't want to give anything away, so I'm not going to talk about it anymore. But it was good. So yeah. So there we go. I'm kind of doing. You know what I might do? Would that even work? I don't know. I was gonna like have his sleeves ripped and bare arms, but they're like super zombified. But I don't know if that works with this. Maybe I'll think of something else. But like, I want to put something in this area other than just. But you know what? We'll see. I'm gonna go to the next thing, the next drawing. So again, here we are. We're just drawing it out. We're just sketching. You know, I had no idea. I have no idea what I'm doing. Still kind of dope. Still working it out. But, you know, I'm going to leave this for now, and when I come back, I'll see it with fresh eyes and get to the next one. So, you know, I'm thinking maybe I'll put, like, I don't know, some tentacles in there, something. And I'm just doing it as I say it. He's just doing it as he says it. And he's saying maybe. It's true, though. Yeah, something Lovecraftian, man. Yeah. That works. I like that. That takes up that kind of, you know what, I was like, what do I put down there? I want to put something there, but nothing seems right to you know, to balance. I didn't want this dead space. I didn't want it to all be dead space, you know. So I'm just making stuff up as I go along. Yeah. Aren't we all? Victims, aren't we all? So yes, guys, I'm so glad that you I'm so glad that you stopped in here. I'm so glad that you stopped in to check out the drawings. This is a little more like kind of a how-to or whatever. Like, again, I'm just sketching. I'm just making stuff up as I kind of go along. Like I just said, I just put these tentacles in as a last minute thing, you know, just because I decided. I thought, well, I'll put it in, see what it looks like, and I like that because it has that Lovecraftian sort of feel now, even more so with this, you know, scarred up, weird, plague doctor-ish Cenobite zombie, you know. More on this later. Now we'll get to the next one. Get to the next one. Okay, so what am I doing? I don't know. I'm just gonna sketch around, sketch up, sketch up, and sketch down. Yeah, I'm just gonna do some. See what happens. See what it turns into. Yeah. See what it turns into. I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't. Could be anything. Could be nothing. I'll see what I can see in the scribbles. The oracle commands it. I'm just gonna see what I see in the scribbles and make something of it. Make something of myself. Make a man out of me. A man. So let's see. Yeah, that kind of works, doesn't it? I'm finding I don't like the angle. I don't like the head-on angle. I want to try something else, or maybe I do. I just have to figure out what the pose is, you know. So I'm like, you know, do I make him walking? Do I make, you know, what do I make him do? And I'm like, you know, if you don't have a plan, it's very difficult to just make stuff up on the fly sometimes, you know, for a specific type of drawing, you know. I suppose if you're a comic book artist, this is like the most fluid place that you're at home in, you know, but you know, just thinking up scenarios, because you're like bombarded with that all the time. You're always having to draw that, right? So, yeah. So, you know what? Maybe I'm going to do a... Let's see. Maybe... Oh, you know what? Yeah. I'll do a sort of monstrous video game type zombie. Yeah, I think. Something like that, maybe. Like that dude from Oh, those bad movies. I own every one of those movies. Oh my God, Resident Evil, for goodness sakes, yes, yeah, one of those guys. You know, he's just a all-purpose monster zombie creature. So yes, here I am. That's what I'm gonna do. You know, see what happens with that. And I'm just making it up. I'm thinking of like a skull, you know, monstrous skull, you know, almost like a Kirby type thing, but then with super tons of gore and things, you know, like ripped flesh and like, you know, but bulky and simplistic, you know. So yes, that's all. But that's the kind of look I want to go for, you know. It's something like deadly, like super claws, tons of claws, you know, instead of, but you know, rot and stuff on them, but claws and like giant oversized hands, all the more, you know. And then maybe just regular feet, I don't know. Yeah, yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm all old. I think, you are old. I'm only 56. Come on. It's the beard. I look like a furry light bulb right now, man. I just have that fine old man skirted egg thing going on. And you know what? I always do that before a convention, and I'm doing a retro fair this weekend at the Hammer Valley Shopping Center. And it's 10 to 5, long day. So I'm going to, you know, shave up and you know, look presentable. You know, but I always do this kind of before game time type of thing. You know, because yeah, that's a pretty, I think that's a pretty long haul, like 2 days and those many hours. So, yeah, man, I'm gonna be probably end up doing at least 10 new Pokemon zombie drawings while I'm there. So 10 new Pokemon zombie drawings I'll be doing there. So if you guys want to check me out at the Hammer Valley Shopping Center, I'll be there, and Candy B Square, and I'll be there, and I'll be drawing even more live than I am now. That's even possible. So, yeah, you know what? I'm like, I'm neither here nor there on this. I'm kind of like, meh. You know, I don't feel I've struck gold. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's great. And yeah, I'll dress it up and stuff, but I don't know. I think those compound legs kind of work. But then I think feet, not boots or shoes or anything. Yeah, like actual foot claw type things. Yes. Yes, and the compound leg, the compound joint leg, you know, that kind of works. There. Yeah, he's kind of this like super hunter killer type Zambi. You know? And yeah, he's got the huge claws. But you know what? Maybe I'll change his hand position. Yeah, maybe I'll change his hand position so it's kind of like this more. So again, guys, if you have trouble drawing hands, here's some examples. I'm not always perfect on them either. Sometimes like it's right, but it doesn't look great. I find, you know. And it's serviceable. But then I look around and I'm like, you know what? Hands are hands, man. Like I see a lot of people, and even like comic book artists doing hands, and they're not always, you know, pimp tight or anything either. So you know, I sometimes I feel I'm like too hard on my drawing, but then, you know, it's always good to be critical of your stuff, right? So, you know, you don't want to coast. You want to try to get better. And that's why, again, I think it's a good idea to get input from pros, you know. and or peers. You know, so yeah, it's always good to sort of do that, you know. And try to take time to draw from life. You know, draw from life. If you guys, you know what? If you guys, you know, have sketchbooks, like, you know, we've talked about in previous live streams. If you have sketchbooks that, you know, you want to kind of bring to the live stream and sketch along with me or whatever, you know, that's cool too, man. You know, just it's drawing time. It's, you know, you can just be inspired by like, you know, someone else drawing with you type of thing. You know, it's always better when it's, you know, with someone else, right? Someone else is there to experience it with you type of thing. So, feel like you're part of a little community, you know. But there we go. Like that's kind of where I'm going with this. I'm gonna probably change a lot of it too. I'm okay with it. It's absolutely adequate. You know what I mean? As a thing, it's not incredibly genius at all by any means, and it's fairly. But you know what? I'm going to do my best to you know, dress it up with my love, man. But later on, when I ink it, and you know, maybe add some more, you know, depth and weight to it, and kind of make it a little more special, because I think it's kind of flat right now. You know, yeah, not very creative, serviceable at best. But hey, you know what? We keep doing it, right? We keep drawing and see what we come up with next. You never know. Have some coffee though. Oh my goodness, that is absolutely fantastic. One sip and I'm totally hip. All right, so let's see. Let's change it up a little bit and kind of do, yeah, a different angle. Yeah, something like this. Profile like, you know, profile like. And yeah, a little more sort of it's got a little more character in the stance. You know, he's got a bit of that C shape going on. You know, that or that almost S shape. Yeah. So there, doing that, the stance. And tricep back here, you know, probably like, I mean, you know, he's super emaciated, right? And you have to kind of draw the structure first anyway, and then add your, you know, details and wherewithal. Like, you know, I'm gonna put, again, very tattered clothing or rags on him, you know, because he looks like that type of zombie. So the fun will be the face, and let's see what we do with the face. Who knows? We could flub it. We could keep working on it, which is what I'm going to do, even if I flub it. Because, you know, you flub it first, and then you find your bearings, and then you're like, oh, okay, this is what I'm doing, you know. But that's the beauty of sort of sketching freehand. And I mean, I'm doing zombies, of course, because that's my thing that I do. But you can do anything, you know. You can use reference if you want to, if you feel like you need to use reference or whatever. If you're doing something on your own, yeah, or you can just sketch freehand like this without any reference. And again, later on, we're going to revisit these and add stuff and or subtract stuff or whatever. We'll change things. This ain't over. You know, in fact, I just looked at it right now with fresh eyes, and I'm like, I think I'm going to do something different with it. So anyway, you know, there's that, right? But we'll come to that as we kind of go. That's why it's always great to have a few things on the go, you know, so you can kind of revisit things and start new stuff and not feel guilty about any of that, because, oh, like you're not finishing something, because that's the whole point, right? you're going to be doing them all in unison, basically. So, you know. So yeah, I'm adding the teeth and, you know, adding to this jaw, showing where probably the skin of the neck is going to go, and all of those lines there. And again, implying them, not drawing them. We're not drawing them yet. We're implying them or imploding them. And again, working out the, is he going to be like a mad, yeah, I think I'll make him an angry zombie, you know, and then he's got that bone, the bone in that nose there. Oh, you know what? I haven't checked my chat, and I really feel bad about that. If anyone's shouting out, oh, Natalie. Hey, Count Lazuli, man. Hey, Nat. Nice to see you're watching. Yeah, I guess I only started 25 minutes ago. Okay. It feels like it feels a lot longer because I'm flubbing all these sketches. I'm like, yeah, these aren't that good. I have to, you know, fix them up. Hey, I don't know if you saw everything from Resident Evil 9 Requiem, but man, I think that is another monster that you would dig. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll put that in the. I'll put a pin in that for sure. Cause yeah, I loved doing that. What was his name again? Shadow Ripper. So I can't remember that. But yeah, that was great. I love doing that. That was awesome. Yeah. Thanks for watching, Count. I'm gonna call you Count Lazuli. That's the way I know you. That's the way I know you, I think. Oh yeah, Stalker. Right. Yes. Yeah. From Amnesia, The Bunker. That I can't believe I remember. I think I promoted it so many times. I cut so many promos with it. It's stuck in my head now. But yeah, the Stalker. Yeah, because I thought his name was kind of. I was unclear actually about what his name was. Technically, Augustin Lambert. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I wasn't sure what he went by, so to speak. But I'm gonna hit back my BTS channel here, so I can see things in real time. And yeah, here we go. We're kind of just again we're riffing on some zombie art, and I'm gonna put that really pronounced rib cage in there. You know, in the chest because he's muy rotting and decaying, you know. So lots of you know details showing that. Plus the nice straining neck veins and things, you know. Now we're kind of starting to draw it, flesh it out a little bit, you know. But I don't want to go too far, Montana. I don't want to go too far. I kind of just want to get the basic vibe down and then get to the next one. So maybe we'll do the that kind of eye, or maybe that kind of eye. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what kind of eyes I'm going to do in there when I get back to it. But I think, you know, for the most part that's a pretty good, you know, rough for a thing. You know, and again, there's lots of stuff I'm going to tweak too. Like I think these teeth need to be kind of, I don't know, more pronounced and more rotten, and I think a little more stylized, maybe even put some of this. But again, like I don't want to go too far and do too much, because that's not what this stage is. This stage is just getting the, you know, the general vibe of it down. So there, I've done that. Yeah. Subscribe to the channel, please, guys. That would be so awesome. Here's a huge reminder to subscribe if you haven't already. I would really appreciate that more than you could possibly know. Do check out Zombie Daily, my Patreon page. Man, oh man, more art than you could imagine in one place by one guy from all across the pop culture landscape and beyond. everything, man. Dinosaurs, Pokemon, kaiju, celebrities, pinups, like you name it, there is a zombie drawing of that there that I've done. So please do check that out. Do yourself a favor, because man, that's a lot of art. Imagine how cultured you'd be after seeing that. Oh my goodness. You'd be the cock of the walk. Yes. So let's see. We're gonna do another sketch. Don't know what I'm doing. Don't know where I'm going. I think I might entertain a little old lady zombie. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening, Governor. But I'm doing it, whatever it is. maybe it is a little old lady. I don't know. Yeah, looks like, but weird, but stylized somehow. Yeah. You like that word, eh? You said it twice. I said it twice. You said it twice. Never say things twice. Yeah, that's kind of weird. I kind of like those slumped shoulders and like the kind of sagging arms, you know. And yeah, I'm actually making her like shuffle, not walk, you know, as much. Like this hand should be bigger than this hand because, you know. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about, right? Because of the way you walk, right? Like opposite your leg. Your arm is opposite to where your leg is, right? So, but in this case, since she's shuffling, it's the same. Yes. And yeah, like kind of, you know, oversized. You know what? Here we go. You know, now I'm thinking, right? Slippers, like really thick legs. They're like bloated, you know. Yeah. But slipper and yeah, man. Glasses maybe. Glasses, yeah. There we go. Here we are. There we are. Yeah. Smiling grandma. Yeah. Yeah, can you see that? Yeah. Smiling grandma zombie. Yes. I think you better start from the beginning. Okay. Just chicken. I was just chicking the chat. So shout out to Natalie and Count Lazuli from Lazuli Gallery. The very same Lazuli. Shout out to you guys. Thanks for watching. Guys, if you could see your way to subscribing to the channel, that would be fantastic. I would really appreciate that. It would mean a lot. Really help me get into that higher sort of echelon of you know, the algorithm stream. You know, things of that nature. So yeah, I would really love your support in that way if you could. There's no strings attached. I know. I'm afraid of commitment too. So I get it. You don't want to subscribe, but really, it's worth it. Yeah, man. I mean, if you could, I would love that, guys. If you haven't already, please do. I think I have to come back to this because I think I know where I'm going, but then I kind of don't. I'm like, overalls? A dress? But what kind of shirt? Because I want to show the, you know what, maybe the shirt's yeah, maybe things are ripped. Yes. See, these are the things you figure out, right? While you draw something that you just like kind of made up, and you know, you don't know where you're going really with it. But dag nabbit, you're gonna try. Dad gummit, gum dag it. Yeah, that almost is in itself disturbing. Disturbing. We find your behavior on our property disturbing. Kudos to anyone who gets that reference. No prize. Yeah, I have to come back to this one. Yeah. It isn't your night, champ. Isn't my night. Isn't my night. Well, you know what? It's like I've always said, you know, have a bunch of stuff on the go. So if you're not feeling incredibly creative, you can go like, oh, I'm going to ink this. And it's not that you're going to be less creative inking, but it's just a different path, you know, a different like mindset when you're inking. Like you have something there that you can, embellish and make nice, but you don't feel especially creative, you know. So yeah, have a bunch of different things on the go, you know, so you can kind of always be working on something and always be excited about it too, you know. Because you'll always love to go back. You'll always love to go back to that original thing, right? And see it with new eyes and go, oh man, now I know where to go with that. So, and that's what I do. I mean, you guys can see that, right? So, you know, this is total process stuff, and sometimes you just have, I'm just showing you how I do it, and sometimes you just have like a night where you're like, yeah, you know, it's okay, but I could do better. You know, I'm not inspired for that right now for whatever reason, you know. But you know, you do it, and you come back to it, and you might see something you didn't see, right? So, man, that happens all the time. It's going to happen this time. You're going to watch it. So yes, you know what? Again, I think I'm gonna do a bulky creature, like a bulky zombie, like almost a Solomon Grundy, yeah, type of thing. Yeah. Helps when you make the noises. It helps when you make the noises. It does. It's true. It's true. So, okay. There. Hand in the. So, yeah, this is going to be like a crouching zombie, hidden zombie type zombie. Like a Frankenstein-y, you know, type of, and I mean that like, you know, in the size, bulk, you know, silhouette. Hope you guys are having a great, what is it anyway? Week? Yeah, it's Tuesday. Holy cats. Yeah, you know what? That long weekend really shook me, man. Like, that was weird. It was weird. Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was Sunday when it was Monday, and it just shifted my whole thing. And again, that's why I had to literally take a break and relax and just kind of get away from it all. Yeah. I don't think I drew very much that day at all, like in any way, you know, in front or behind the camera. When the camera was on or off. No, I didn't actually, you know, do a and I normally would have probably done a live stream last night, but yeah, I was wiped. So there we go. We're adding some night. Now we're sort of going, okay, well, I know what I'm gonna do. I know what the exercise is, and you know, you've created the rough for it. So man, like, and it's awful. Like, it's just awful, right? So I have to do a lot of stuff to it to make it, work. So I was just laying the groundwork type of thing. I just had a thought. You're gonna see that Charlie guy from that Penguin Zero in a couple months, and that Rob Cicetto guy was a complete fraud. Those weren't even his real hands in the picture. They just shot this other guy. Yeah, he wasn't an artist at all. All that stuff about him working for so and so, all lies. Oh man. All lies. And he thought he could get away with it in this day and age. Yeah. There, I just created a fake episode. Those weren't even his real hands. They went to that amount of trouble for an artist that wasn't even that good. I'm writing it, man. It's the Matrix. I'm writing reality. Yeah, in a couple months you'll see. You'll see that. Yeah, I love that dude. I subscribe to his channel too. I'm sure he's got tons, but yeah, I love having him explain shit. Sometimes it's kind of fun, He's got a good delivery and sensibilities and stuff like that. So, yeah. Now, again, I don't know if I'm gonna be. Like leaving those hands the way they are, but maybe I don't know. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see if they're gonna be like that or like more claws, or I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna just make him this giant rotting zombie, like not a bodybuilder specifically, but like a big dude, big country dude or something. Yeah, and giant farm boy, Yeah, giant farm boy. Yeah, and he's happy to see you. I'm gonna kind of go with that smiling thing. I kind of like that. Yeah. But yeah, he's pretty, and I mean, again, like, this is just the skeleton, right? Or, pardon the pun, but this is just the rough, like, totally rough design. Nothing more. Anything could change at any time, right? But I kind of like this, the stocky sort of thing, and kind of where it's going. So. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with most of this, but again, like tons of damage, like gore, shredded skin, rotting skin, shredded clothing, all that stuff, all that neat jazz, to sort of really give it a lot of weight. Because you're looking at it right now, and it's like, okay, I get it, I get where the structure is and all that stuff. But it definitely it's just a bare bones, again, part of the pun sketch. And I could go anywhere with it. Oh, if I want to put like a scrap of clothes there and see how that looks, and might go, no, I don't like that. When I come back to it, I might not like it. I might change it. So this is the phase we're in. This is basically the kind of phase we're in at this stage, right? Just feeling it out, and wondering if I'm going to do this. Yeah, I think so. I think I'm going to do that with his hand, kind of thing. Yeah. So having that line there. Just thinking of Gil Kane again. When in doubt. You know? Yeah. In fact, yeah. Yeah. Oh man, see how like maybe you guys can't see what I'm doing here, but like immediately as soon as I had Gil Kane's uh, vision of a foot at that angle, I immediately fixed it because I was like, no, that's not right. That's not right. And I'm like, what would Gil Kane do? And it's like that, you know. So yeah, man. Yeah, it's awful, but that's how I roll. That's how I do it. I steal everybody's stuff, you know. But that's what it is. It's everything you see, everything you experience, you know. That's what your art is. It's every part of you. It's everything. Like when you draw something, when you interpret something, when you try to illustrate a thought or a feeling or like or whatever that is, it's going to be so uniquely you that nothing on earth could ever duplicate that, you know. So yeah, it's all, you know, your art is always going to be unique and you know, very personal. And you know what, if you're starting out as an artist, if you just want to draw for the fun of it, there are no stakes involved. There's no need to be kind of nervous about it or anything. You don't have to be good, whatever that is exactly. You know, that's a pretty there's a pretty wide breadth in that and using that term between, you know, what isn't good, you know. So yeah, what does it matter? There's no difference. You don't have to be good, whatever that is. You know, just do it for the therapeutic value of it alone, and you know, the personal experience of it. You know, and yeah, just the fun of it. Just the fun of it, man. You can do anything. You don't need a budget. You can do anything. You know, the budget is your pencil and paper. That's it. You know. So that's the wonder and beauty of art. Like, you know, it's just that thing. It like, yeah, it's all you, man. It's all you. You know, and it's wonderful. And again, like if you have like, you know, if you want to become a better artist in terms of, you know, drawing you know, reality or a version of that. Then again, draw from life as much as you possibly can. Bring that sketchbook around with you, you know, and observe things, you know, and draw them. You know, if you're on the bus or subway or whatever, if you have a long commute, where you're, you know, sitting, instead of looking at your phone, man, draw stuff in a sketchbook. Plus, you'll look cool, man. You'll look different. Yeah, you'll be different, and you will be. Look at me. Yes, you'll be different, all right. Yeah, but no, it is a great thing. I can vouch for it, man. I know that it helps me. And you know what? Even though I'm doing like I'm like not batting 1,000 here with whatever that means. Even though I'm not like blowing myself out of the park with this, or blowing myself out of the park, or anything near the park, I'm still going to come back to them, and you know, do other things. I'm going to come back to the other ones and go, like, I'm already looking at them going, oh, okay, I'm going to change this, you know, and then we'll start inking them, man. I'll show you some more techniques. But again, right now, simply getting the structures down, having a fun time, just, you know, drawing everything out, you know, and not stressing over it. Again, you know, there's no need to stress over it. You have your trusty eraser here, help you out in case of emergencies, you know. And in case you want to actually, use your eraser to draw, because that's basically what I just did right there. I created those lines in there, which I now will, make like incredibly long tendons with shadow. Yeah. So that's how that works, So you want to show that, like, those crazy David Finch type details in there that he does. You just steal from everybody. No, you know what? I'm just saying that because, like, he does that stuff, right? He does that stuff, and no, he's not the first. Like that's an absolute, Bernie Wrightson type thing with the long shadows, horror type aspect thing. Absolutely, using that kind of technique to create those wicked shadows in the neck and muscles and all that, and the veins, and yeah. Wrightson wrote the book on that, man. And artists have learned from that, and have their own sort of version of that, style, different pen weight, line, and stuff like that, but still basically the same kind of technique, Really, really heavy blacks, heavy on the black, And I love that stuff. I just, it's very hard for me to do it. I always want to put in like tons of like, hatching and actual detail and stuff like that. So it's hard for me to let go of doing that, because that's the kind of style I like. But I so love the guys like Mignola and man, there's like so many guys, like even Quesada is like that too a lot. He uses a lot of black now, which I love. I don't think that's lazy or anything. It's amazing if you could pull it off, and that's the thing. Like, it's tough, I find, for me, for my style, right? But then why would I do that? I just I love it. But yeah, I'm adding like weird sort of boils on them too. Hey man, you know what? I'll tell you, if this is the only piece that I end up inking tonight, and whatever, that's cool too. At least I've started a bunch, right? I've started a bunch, and again, it's like you walk away from an evening of drawing with a finished piece that's pretty, like, that's pretty comprehensive, right? So either way, you're all good, And I'm gonna put a lot more sort of attention to the, like, what do you call it? Ripped clothing and ripped, like, shredded areas of him. But I think he's wearing jeans and with cowboy boots. Because, yeah, I kind of thought, he's a farm boy type of thing. Or not a cowboy, but like a big farm type guy. I think. I don't know where I'm getting that from. But, yeah, it just, I don't know, popped in there. It just popped in there. What did you do, Ray? Yeah, so references. Farm boy. Yeah, and so I'm gonna add, way more details, things of that nature. I'm just gonna check the chat. Okay. There. All right. Yes. So we're continuing to draw zombies from scratch using nothing but blank paper and a pencil for now. But soon I'll be getting into the inking phase, so y'all can see some inking techniques, which I think will be valuable for those of you who really want to do illustration and see what pens do, and see what techniques do, like why they're being used and stuff like that. So yes, very cool. If you want to stick around for that, that'll be happening very shortly, because I will at least be doing this one. I will at least be inking this one, I think, because I'm almost... I have enough to go on, I think, to do the inking I want to do. I might add a couple of more like weird strands here and there, but other than that, I think this might be good to start inking. I've pretty much not fully penciled it, but I think fully sketched it out to the point where I could take it from here with the inking. For me, you know, because I'm inking my own thing, right? So if you're inking your own thing, it's kind of a little, you kind of know where you're going with stuff already. You've been there, right? You've been there. So, you know, again, you kind of know your penciling already, you know. Some people would disagree, but whatever, you know. Again, I draw the way I draw. If you like it, that's awesome. You know, if you like watching me create these things, that's fantastic. I dig that. This is kind of what I do, and a lot of times I do bigger projects. Like I just finished doing six huge things, and then today I got five new zombie portrait orders. So yeah, man, I'm always. I might actually do those on the live stream too. If you got, actually, I'm gonna ask the person who ordered them if they wouldn't mind, or if they want me to do them during a live stream, so you guys can actually watch me do real zombie portraits live for a real fan, real customer fan, whatever. I like to use the word fan more than customer. I don't like using customer, but yeah, somebody just ordered 5 zombie portraits today, and yeah, I'm gonna be working on those very soon this week at some point. You know, I might do them on a live stream. See how that goes. But yeah, I like this. I could start inking it whenever. But let me go to something else for a moment. And you know what? I see what I have to do. Yeah, I see what I have to do here. I think. There'll be nothing left. No, you know what I'm actually using? I'm actually using the very faint... you probably can't see it. It's very faint. Like just the actual lines I erased. I'm going to kind of use as a guide, even if it's for what not to do, you know. But I like the head, so I'm going to keep the head. And now what to do with the body is, I think, yeah, like almost, oh, you know what, it's almost like a Chinese ghost story zombie. Yeah. You know what, man, now that I have that in my head, I'm like, okay, I think I can do this now. Because yeah, it's like one of those like The Wailing or whatever. Like there's always more than ghostly horror in those sort of Japanese or Korean ghost story movies, you know. I love those, man. Oh my goodness. Yeah, those are great. So I'm going to kind of do something like that, I think. Yeah. And then but she's wearing a dress. Yeah, I like this, you know. And it's, yeah, with those little sort of fancy doily kind of ends. And you guys are watching me do this like absolutely by scratch, man. I have no idea what I'm kind of doing. I'm making it up as I go along, and I just decided I'm going to make this seem like one of those Japanese horror, like ghost story movies, you know. So that kind of zombie horror, you know. or those Korean, whatever the Wailing and that is, and there's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of them that I love, that I've watched, that I own actually, that that are great. And then of course, Train to Busan. Of course, as a straight up zombie movie, man, like that was one of the best zombie movies I think I've ever seen. And again, that was just a few years ago. So there is no, Hollywood always talks about like, oh, do we have superhero fatigue? And it's like, no, man, we have crappy movie fatigue, man. Call it what you will, but it's not the genre. It's the movie itself, So I don't know. That's how I feel. Like, I find very few movies like compelling, and especially like the latest sort of superhero ones. Although, you know what? I really enjoyed Thunderbolts, and I really wanted to see, and I still want to see Fantastic Four. I haven't seen it yet, but I heard good things, and I heard it didn't do well at the box office for some reason. So who knows what's happening with that whole franchise, man? Like, if they don't bring it back with that, what is it, Doom thing or whatever? I don't even know what they're doing, but yeah, if they don't bring it back with that, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for superheroes, man. Might see the end of that. But you know what though? James Gunn. Oh my goodness! Like, that guy has for me has really turned DC around cinematically. Anyway. Like, they were floundering hard, man, and I think James Gunn's stuff is awesome. Like, I love Superman, and I love Peacemaker, man. I really do. So, I haven't seen that Creature Commandos yet, but yeah, I can't wait to see more of the Peacemaker, man. That was amazing. So, you know what? I'm going to make her actually have, like, demonic or zombie feet. Yeah, zombie feet. Yeah. Yeah. Like, yeah, they're all sort of skeletal, I think. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Okay, good. See, we come back to it, and we end up liking it. I really like this. I think it has a nice flow to it, and I think it seems natural. And it is, because, yeah, that's kind of what I had in mind, I think, in the first place. I think I'm going to bob the skirt out a bit more and put more rips and all. Yeah, okay. So, again, this is just a basis. This is just oh, you know what? Yeah, do that with the hips almost. That's even weirder and creepier. It's a little creepier. Yeah. There. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. Okay, see? It's the process, guys. You're watching the process happen. And I'm making it up as I go along. For real. I think you can tell. What am I doing? What am I going to do? But that's the fun of it. That's the fun of it. And again, there's no stakes involved. You're just drawing. You're just having a fun time. And you're owning everything. And it's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. There, that's fun. I love that smile. That smile's great. It almost looks like it's protruding from her face. Maybe I'll put the nose a bit higher. Yeah. Like, oh yeah, like that. Maybe I'll actually draw the nose more. Yes. See, again, guys, we're making it up as we go along, and I like that so much better already. Maybe the eyes are bulging. It's kind of like a deadite. Again, I always go back to the deadites. Kind of like that, but again, very rooted in that Chinese or Japanese or Korean horror, like ghost genre. Because I have watched so many of those I never realized, and I own some that I guess I did realize, but yeah, like more than I realized, I think. So yeah, I love that. I love that genre. Like even The Ring and The Grudge and all that stuff. The original ones were really good. I thought, you know. I didn't see that Grudge versus the Ring, though. I think I watched part of it, but I think there's too much lore involved in that now. I don't know. I wasn't interested in it, but yeah. But again, you know, you kind of think of those things when you're drawing stuff like this. You know, again, your mind is there, and you're working stuff out, man. And I might, again, like here I am. I'm going. Okay, well, I'm just adding these like long fingernails, you know, because they would kind of have that, I think, you know. But yes, anyway, I love this. I think it's great. I'm gonna put a pattern on her. I think her dress is gonna be really dark and kind of like salt and pepper, and with all the rips and everything. And I think that I'm gonna put a pattern in it, like a little dot pattern, to make it even more authentic. You know, make it more that kind of grandma dress, old styley dress, authentic. You know. But again, we'll do that in the later stages. Maybe 2 buttons. We could take them out after if we don't like them. You know, but yeah, I like the earrings. I like the hoop earrings there. You know, and the arms are, you know, rotting and everything, but they have like this weird elasticity to them, which again kind of makes it a ghost zombie type of thing. You know, so yeah, there. So we'll get to the, you know, now that we got this, and I'll even toss in some more depth in here. Yeah, kind of make it go around, because you're kind of looking down at her a little bit. You know what? I'll do that actually better. And again, we're working stuff out, so it's all good to, you know, put your ideas down, and then if you have to erase them, or if you have to incorporate them, or draw over them, or whatever, that's totally cool, you know. But I'm going to start there, and start there, and I think that's how the dress is going to work. Yeah, like we're looking down at it like that, and then what I'll do later is put in all the rips and tears and all that, and the folds and all that stuff, you know. Yeah, so that's better, I think, that angle. So we're always working it out at this stage. This is like the stage where we do that, you know. And yeah, I like that. I think that's great. I think that's great, you know. Okay, so now we have this one. We come back to this guy. And, you know what? Let's see. I think I'm going to put more of a brow line on him. I think that makes it better. Yeah, it does. Immediately, yes. So, again, this is new. I'm doing this as I go, and already I'm changing it for the better, because I'm looking at it with different eyes. And, again, that's why it's always good to have, hey, 4 or 5 drawings on the go, you know? And even more if you want. You know, in various stages of completion. That's even better if you can do that. You know, if you can do that. And once again, there's no stakes involved in drawing. You're just doing it for the enjoyment, and you know, you're just doing it for the fun of it. Unless you want to get more serious, that's up to you. But you're not doing it for anyone but yourself, and it's a wonderful thing, guys. Really is. You know, if you want to pick up art. Pick up R? I'm not picking up R. You want to pick up art as a fun little hobby that could maybe turn into something more? Yeah, I'm here to help. If you have any questions or anything, if you want to see how things are done, like even if you have questions about the industry, because it's always changing and it's always different and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, if you have questions about, you know, even style and techniques and things like that, you know, it's all good. You can shoot those at me, and I will respond either at the live cast that's occurring, or at the next one. You know, I'll give you a shout out, and I'll answer your questions for sure. Love doing that. I love doing that for people who want to know. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's nicer to have someone there instead of Google or, you know, Chat GPT or whatever. It's nice to have an actual person for real, you know, you know, helping you out or guiding you or whatever. So that's what I think anyway. I don't know. I've never really tried that. But I don't care to, though. I'm old now. See, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Yes. So if you want to become, sometimes I think you want to fail. If you want to become a better artist, and you need some questions answered, or you want to see some techniques being done, or anything like that, yeah, let me know. Yeah, 5 zombie portraits this week. Woo! Yeah, that, and then what else? Oh my goodness, so much. And then I've got a big convention or retro fair coming this weekend, man. And it's a 2-day-er. It's a 2-day-er. Yeah. So that'll be interesting. There. That. You know, there we go with the spinal column again. No, there we go with the spinal column again, showing it like. And again, this probably you'd never see a spinal column, you know, until it gets right down to the very bottom on all this. So again, technically, I'm not trying to portray necessarily, you know, reality all the time. If it looks cool, I will, you know, illustrate it that way, you know. And so, yeah, it's not always accurate. That's why every time I would do dinosaurs, I would preface it by saying, you know, I'm not a paleo artist or anything like that. So if I'm way off on the structure of these dinosaurs or whatever, my apology. That's not what I was going for. It's more the zombie thing than anything. You know, in fact, I think I used like a rubber dinosaur toy for one of the references. So yeah, I'm sure that wasn't super accurate either. It was just the basic shape of a dinosaur. You know, common dinosaur shape. You know, for a biped. You know, so yeah. Nothing more. And that's what I would use as a reference sometimes. Because I had a couple of those. I have a couple of those. I had more than I thought. I was like, forgot about this orange one or whatever. So yeah, I would use these rubber dinosaurs as reference for the zombie dinosaur series, you know. So yeah, not accurate. But you know, that's not the point. The point is to make it look kind of cool. Sure, man, I'm going to try to be accurate, but not to the point where I don't know what that dinosaur absolutely looks like. I don't think anyone kind of does yet, you know. So, yeah, like sometimes you have to extrapolate and just make it look kind of neat. You know, make it look right. You know, make it look right. Yeah. But there we go. That actually looks so much cooler. Yeah, I love that. So, you know, again, coming back to it, and, changing things, fixing things. Now you're seeing things from a different light, you know, and you can almost critique it, you know, going, I don't like that. That looks weird. Why did he do that? You know what I mean? So you can actually, like, you know, pretend you're critiquing another artist's work and you know, and go, yeah, there's something wrong with that, you know. Yeah, don't pretend it's someone else. Then you'll have a better, a more unbiased, you know, view, you know. Why did that jerk draw that like that? Stupid jerk. Wait a minute. I'm the jerk. The jerky. There. How about that? Hair? Yeah. you know what? Great to have more textures to play with, right? And could even make it sort of, that kind of part in the middle here, which is, really weird. And yeah, could do things. Yeah, don't know. I don't like that. But like, again, this is the stage where you're trying stuff out. I don't think I like that up here. Maybe. I'll see how I feel about it after. But yeah, some hair. Again, nice to have different textures in there. If you know what, since like this basically, you're just sketching, man. Like you're just doodling basically, and now you're at the stage where you're like, oh, you know what, I like that doodle. I think I'm gonna make it a little more, a little stronger, and yeah, like I'm adding those little wisps of hair in there, seeing how that works out. And stuff like that, adding in different tendons and stuff. Maybe put some veins in there, huge veins sticking out. Yeah, adding those types of things, because we're really just having fun sketching stuff. That's all we're doing here, folks. Just sketching stuff, and nobody's getting hurt here. Don't want anybody to get hurt here. Just sketching. So there, we got that. We got so again, when I come back to this, I'm going to probably end up finishing it like pencil wise. It's almost, you know what, I'll just end up kind of finalizing the pencils here at this point, I think. You know what? I'll put a sort of a line where the ripped clothing sort of starts. A very basic line, like nothing that I'm going to actually draw in, but I'm going to use as a reference. But I'm gonna kind of make his veins. I'm going to try to make his sort of veins in his neck and everything naturally meld in to the ripped clothing that's kind of almost bonded to him, and put some dark in there, put some nice movie dark in there. You watch movies, like there's so many like super dark spots in the filming, right? So like I want to kind of put that in there. Like you took a photo of a movie, a cell or whatever, I just used one of those for that Felicia Rose zombie portrait. So yeah, that was a tough one, man. Because again, really super contrasty. A film still, right? That they took from the film. So yeah, really hard to draw from, but I think it worked. You can see that on Zombie Daily, guys. Go to Zombie Daily. Check out all of the zombie art. There is, I believe, almost 4,000 pieces of art there. Man, it's a treat. It's a treat. Check it out. Do yourself a favor. Have fun. Check out Zombie Daily. It's on my Patreon page. The link is in the description below, of course. And there's other cool links that you might dig as well. Links to my t-shirt shop and other things as well, where you can actually purchase the Zombie Handbook and the Cape Fear graphic novel and comic. So yeah, check that out. Check those links out for sure. Buy some merch. It all goes to help me draw more for you to enjoy. Yes, and I love it, and I will keep doing as many of these live streams as I possibly can. I really enjoy doing them, guys, and if you have any questions about art, the industry, techniques in drawing or anything like that, don't hesitate to ask. I'm a click away with the channel here, You know, and if I don't get to your, if I don't answer your question on the day of, I will address it in the next live stream. And I know I do not like that type of hair. Yeah, I don't like that. I'm gonna change that. So yeah, there. I kind of like the more. I kind of like the more hair and like strands and back. I don't want to give them a hairdo. Hey, hairdo, Smokes hairdo. Yeah, there. So I like that. I like that. Man, there's so much more we could do though. You know, this kind of business. This kind of business here. You know. The Jonah Hex of it all. Yeah, that kind of stuff, you know. Maybe oh man, like there's so much stuff. There's so many things, right? There's so many things we can do. Those aren't even his real heads. Rob Sachetto is a fraud. Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny. What's so funny? There, I like that. I really, yeah, I really like that. So that's good. Yeah, and I think when I do the inks, there will be way more detail in the because I already have the structure there. I already have the structure. I know what's going on. Like you know, I know the stance. I know the like where the arm is here, and then there's like you see the bottom of the back, the bottom of his lower back in there. If you can see where you can see what I'm talking about. And then, you know, the tricep here, and then the bicep probably have a nice thick vein in there too. You know, and then those tendons that go, and I'm still recovering from my bloody stupid arm injury. Yeah, man. Anyway, like I'm like, oh, I'm super fine now, and then the next thing you know, it's like, oh, I'm having trouble even holding a cup of coffee, type of thing. So it's still there. It's still lingering, but it is much better than it was. But yeah, had a bit of an arm injury there. So thank goodness it wasn't this guy. I need this guy for the drawings, for the drawings of things, the nature of things. Yeah, more veins, please. More veins, please. Yeah, and you know what, man? I could even go further and put more hanging flesh, and I probably will, because you know what I'll do. You know what I'll do? I'll actually, like, with the ink, draw the things that I already know are kind of there. I already kind of know they're there, and then erase like the overlap lines. So yeah, that's, you know, now that it's established to that point, I can do that. You know, so more raw. I don't have to do this. I don't have to necessarily do this. I am going to do this, but I don't have to do the erase thing anymore, because I'm going to probably end up just doing it with ink and erasing afterwards. But yeah, I like that. I like the hanging. Here I am doing it again. Yeah, the hanging flesh thing I kind of do like. You know what? Sometimes you like seeing it, you know, in full pencil or more fully penciled. In that kind of sense. Sometimes you don't need to, but you want to anyway. So, but I mean, you always be the judge of that when you draw. You know, when do you want to start inking it? When do you feel comfortable? It's always good to go in confident and be comfortable and trust your pencils. You know, so do the pencils, the rendering as much as you can before inking. I always say. Until you're really sort of in the groove, you know what I mean, in your own groove, and you understand your own pencils and all that stuff. Yeah. And again, like these things can take time, or they can come very quickly. It depends, you know. And a lot of times it has a lot to do with just your mindset and your relaxation and being comfortable with the medium or just what happened that day. Like so many things can affect your work. So I think this is good for what it needs to be for now. I could start inking, I think, at any time, and I think it'll be good. I will, and I really like it now. See, again, coming back to it, I really like it now. I like it now. It's good. It was always good. No, it needed work, man. It needed work. So you come back to it, and you give it the old critique. Give it the old critique, man. Pretend it's not yours, it's someone else's, and look at it, look at it from that angle. If you must, if that works for you. Let's see what we. Oh, it goes this way. So what do we got next? So what we just have? Oh yeah, that gas mask guy. Forgot about him. I forgot about him. I don't know if I like him. I don't know. It's kind of clunky. Let's see. Maybe I'll try it again, but from different angles. Again and again. I like the idea. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I just thought of something cool. Okay. See, again, like you see things, man. I see things. You're seeing things, man. And and then you just draw them, But I saw this and I'm like, okay, I gotta do it this way. And because I saw the sort of Cenobite look of this, I think I know where I'm going with it. But I had to see it first. Now I see it. So this is what it's going to look like. And yeah, it's going to still have that gas mask canister thing. And it's going to... no, you know what? It is going to do this. And then I'm going to put this in. And then teeth. Yeah, this is a totally Mike Mignola type mouth with that zombie type mouth that he does. Stop stealing everybody's stuff. I'm actually gonna make his head kind of like squished with the straps. Like the straps are kind of like squishing it. Yeah, like that. And then, you know what? I think I might do this and see what that looks like. Like, yeah, Yeah. Yeah, what do you think of that? What do you think of that? There. He's more of like a, what's that, you know what? I had such high hopes for that movie too. It's a war movie with zombies and they crash behind enemy lines and then they're like, they take, some of them take this serum and become zombies and like they're super strong and what the hell is the name of that movie? Overlord? Yeah, Overlord. Yeah, I had mega more high hopes for that movie, man. It was okay, but for some reason I thought it should be better. I don't know. I was expecting more, I think. Yeah. So should I put this? I kind of like that. We'll see what happens. But definitely, like, he's super veiny. But I'm trying to think now of what maybe Hunchback. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, you know what? Yeah, he's maybe misshapen. But would he be? See, I don't know. I'm thinking he should have a cloak. Maybe a leather cloak. Maybe a leather cloak. Oh. Shut up. Stop it with the enthusiasms. Yeah, there. I think this is yeah. Something like this. Yeah. Yes. And then you know what? Boom. Boom. That should that go? Yeah, you know what? Sure. Let's see what happens with that. See where that goes. Is that a big collar thing? And then this is like leather. Yeah, so this is kind of like leather, right? Yeah. So a lot of like straining of the neck, of the neck. But you know what? Here, like this, I did this, and maybe I'll revisit it. I just hate it. It looks awful. It looks so like, you know what? It kind of has a steampunk look to it, but it's just awful. Like, I don't like the way it's drawn. I would have to erase too much but I like this. So again, you're not gonna do spun gold like every time, and you just saw me not do that. So yeah, and you go back to it. You go back to it and you see what you can do with it, and or try different angle or whatever style or whatever. See, like I did this sort of pipe thing with that because I like the pipe idea. I like that. I like that kind of piping. With the bands in it. I kind of like that. But then where do I go with it? Do I do this? I don't know. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, damn it, that looks kind of cool. Yes, see, man, like you never know what's gonna happen. Yeah, that bolted on there, I think looks cool. Yes, yeah. So we just add that, and I could totally see this thing being a giant Cenobite type thing, or a big Cenobite type, Plague Doctor Cenobite. But I think the you know what? No, actually, I think the stitches kind of go with the character too. You know what I mean? Because it's a doctor and he's all stitched up, and yeah, it has that connotation to it, right? So no, I love this. I think it's good. And they're putting in that canister breathing apparatus thing, whatever. And then you know what? I'm almost done this lead. I'm almost done on the other lead. Do I have anything in there? Boop, 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 boop. Oh, I do. Oh, goody. All right. You don't have to see an old man try to put a 0.07 millimeter piece of carbon inside of a tiny hypodermic needle hole. No, actually, I'm pretty good at doing that. I've done it 1 trillion times. That's why I like. Mechanical pencils, because you don't have to sharpen them. And again, like some people differ with that, and I'm like, why? I don't understand. Like, why would you want the alternative? Because then there's a mess, and you have to have a pencil sharpener. Like with this, all you got to do is fill the barrel with 4 or 5 leads. Man, you're good for a day or two, or longer, depending on how much you draw. So I think buckles, or maybe a buckle. Yeah, a buckle here. Buckle, and now remember, the buckle, has that, like it's attached to the leather, right? So you got to remember that. And I'm gonna put a little I'm going to put a little sort of buckle hole. Buckle hole! Buckle hole! And there. And then I think this will just have like sort of a, yeah, sort of a joint in there that can be tightened or whatever. But it's in his head, like it's really embedded into his head to the point where it's kind of squishing, as you can see. So took the idea from this, which was awful, and then turned it into this, which I really like. I really like this. I think this is really, really cool. I think I'm going to enjoy this. I think I'm going to enjoy inking it and finishing it. So again, this came from nothing and nowhere. This was a blank piece of paper, just as oh yeah, and I've got this guy too. Okay, so I've got him too. So we're going to finish like the penciling on these guys, or the rough and the penciling, blah blah blah. That I'm gonna put this in there. That's gonna go down. These are gonna be bolted. Yeah, big bolts. There we go. Yeah. And then we're gonna put that bend in between each thingy. Band, I guess. It's a band in between each thing, but it continues around though, right? It continues around, so you gotta continue that round, circular part, despite the fact that it's got that band, sort of that curve around it. So you gotta make reservations for that, and there. Yeah, because that goes all the way around. It's a tube. He turned the tub into a tube. I'm stuck in his tube. No prize to anybody who gets that reference. I should start awarding prizes for references. Yeah, maybe drawings. Maybe I'll do drawings. You get the drawing I'm working on if you get the reference. Okay, so let's maybe start with some inking and change it up a little bit. I'm gonna put some. Yeah, so again, this thing is in fact a zombie. But it's a particular type. Oh, you know what? Maybe the eye in there? Oh, does the eye in there work? I love that. Yeah, I kind of like that. What do you guys think? Let me know. That's the head. Yeah, and he's got, he's got that sort of bird helmet thing on, and it's attached to his head. Maybe I'll put, actually what I'm going to do, because I have templates, I'm going to actually use my round template. Where is it? Where's my round template? Find it. Where? For reals. Okay, well, when I do the eye, I'm definitely going to use my round template. Wherever it might be. Where might be it? Come on now. The studio's not that big. Where's my round template? Is it underneath all this? No. Hey, no. What? Oh my goodness, there's so much stuff here. What the? Wow. Look at all this. Okay, all I can find is my oval template. Alright, well, okay. Anyway, when it comes time to do this round eye and this, I will use my round template. But until then, yeah, I look like a hairy light bulb right now. Sorry guys, I'm like totally unshaven and all that stuff. I got the skirted egg going on, which really brings out the youngness in me. And yeah, I gotta clean myself up for the weekend, man. Be presentable, man. There's a RetroCon coming on at the Hanmer Valley Shopping Center. Can't wait to go to that. And guys, please check out Zombie Daily while you're at it. While you're at what? While you're at it. Check out Zombie Daily. I promise you a multitude of zombie art that you cannot believe. Man, just the volume of it is staggering in itself. So yeah, zombie art from all corners of pop culture and beyond. So yes, I've kind of done it all, man, and feel free to use that search bar to check out, throw some things in there and see what pops up, man. I've probably zombified it, or them, or it, or that, or whatever. But yeah, check that out. Please subscribe to the channel, guys, if you can, if you haven't already. Would really mean the world to me. I'd love to be up in that higher echelon of the algorithms, where the algorithm gods favor you, and maybe get you in front of more eyes. You know, get you higher up there in the algorithm stream, and you know, get in front of more people and talk to more people. Man, we're really close to 500 subscribers, by the way, and thank you guys so much for subscribing, all you new subscribers out there, man. Like I said, you know, I often don't intentionally check, but then sometimes I'll just glance at it by kind of accident. I'm serious, I really don't. I don't check. Like, I don't make a point to check the new subscribers because, like, that's crazy. You'll drive yourself crazy, right? So I don't do that, and then once in a while I'll sort of glance over and I'll be like, oh my goodness, you know, thank you so much. So yeah, thanks guys so much for subscribing to the channel. You know, it really means the world to me. It really does. And yeah, if you could check out Zombie Daily and get yourself a zombie portrait, how about that? Original custom art for so, like, for such an affordable price. Oh my goodness. Still, you know. But next year is the 20th anniversary of Zombie Portraits, and I probably will have to raise the prices a little bit. So get your zombie portrait in order in now, or get a gift certificate. You know, get a gift certificate. I can do that for you too. You know, and that will last a few years at least. You know, as long as I'm still kind of on the planet, type of thing. But yeah, you know, secure that price if you want, if you can, if you're planning on getting a zombie portrait at some point. So yeah, and I think I know where I'm going with this now. Long hair. Yeah, I know, crazy. Yeah, long hair. So this was once a man, and kind of like, just like Nemesis, I guess. He's kind of like this giant brute zombie, you know, character. Yeah. But yeah, ripped up jean gimmick, just like the Hulk, you know. I think ripped up pants, you know, that gimmick there, that Hulk thing, and I like that. I like that look. He's kind of like, well, he's definitely going to be a zombie. I'm actually going to really put a lot of like hanging flesh and torn up areas and stuff like that. You know, even maybe the rib cage actually totally showing in areas, and, you know, muscle striations and stuff of that nature. Like, put that in there. But you know, yeah, maybe maybe some. Now you know what? I'm gonna keep the clothing down to the jeans, and that's it. That's right. Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep the clothing down to just the jeans and the ripped jeans, and have the rest of them basically with nothing but like torn and bubbling and distorted and warped skin, but in the shape of the muscles. Yes. Yeah, like in the like giving that sort of illusion that it's like sort of coating the muscle tissue still, you know, and bone. So yeah. And again, like, you know, it doesn't have to be 100% accurate. You're creating the gore. So it could be like, you know, oozing pockets of like blistering flesh. Could be like, you know, torn skin. Could be burnt. Could take on like, you know, like a crater like you know, texture, whatever, man. Like you just that's stuff that just comes out of your imagination, you know. So you add that, and it comes out of your experience too, like experience with, you know, nature and things like that, where you've actually like kind of felt that texture, you know, or you're able to sort of transpose that texture onto the thing that you're drawing, you know, because you've experienced that, you know, feeling that moss or wood or, you know, whatever, to give you that sort of tactile, you know, ability to recreate it with your art, you know, with your pencil. And that's kind of what I'm doing with this. I'm kind of, you know, finishing, you know, really indicating where the torn areas are going to be, and what kind of, like, you know, what texture is he? What does he look like? What kind of, like, I'm making up the hands right now, basically, right? So, you know, yeah, that's this, again, that's this part of the process, you know. You're still kind of working things out, but really at this point, I'm pretty confident I know where it's going to go, you know. So, yeah, just drawing in those things. Like, man, I didn't really realize I was going to do jeans on them until moments ago. You saw it. You all saw it. Yeah. So I was, you know, I thought, yeah, I'll put jeans on him, and then, like, he kind of has that Hulk look, you know. Like he was human, and now he's this thing, you know. Yeah, man, and just adding some interesting details, and you know, being able to go, okay, well, I'm going to take that out now, and then replace it with something else, and you know, and create a new texture there or something. So yeah, sketching, and it's fun. And you know, when you start putting your inks in, I kind of leave the pencil there myself. It's kind of faded at that point, but I like kind of showing my construction lines and stuff like that, my working lines and my finished art in the right place, type of thing. You know, I don't do that with everything, but for sketches like this and drawings like this, I kind of do like using, like, showing those lines that make it up, type of thing. You know, those construction lines. So yeah, pretty normal feet, I think. Again, making him seem still partly human, you know. But he's got those compound legs, almost like those legs that go back, you know. So yeah, he's definitely an enhanced zombie prototype, you know. Military grade. Yeah, they tried to make the super soldier and it backfired, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah, that old chestnut. Yeah. But what they created. But what they created was unholy. Uh, there. Yeah, so again, I'm going to put way more, when I start inking, when I do the inking, I'm going to put way more happy, fun, joy stuff in there. But for the most part, again, he's like very Hulk-like, but definitely a weird, you know, again, what's the name of that? Resident Evil type zombie? Yeah, Resident, like that Nemesis type guy, you know. So I might even fix the teeth a little bit here. Yeah. Or maybe give him more teeth. Yeah. Maybe give him another. Oh, I like that. I like that tooth. Yeah. Yeah. Put some sharp ones in there. You know what? Again, like you make it up as you go along, and I think that looks right. And if it doesn't, I'll change it. You know. But no, I like that. I like that. There's more teeth. And there's weird looking ones in there. There's a couple of sharp ones. Yeah, they go back. Yeah, I like that. Gonna put a little bit of drool there or something, like saliva. But yeah, you guys can see me do basically create this out of thin paper, thin air. And, you know, and now we're gonna get into the inking very, very shortly, and we'll find out what different pens do and different techniques do, you know. Yeah, and I'll show you some techniques that you might want to, you know, use in your own array of skills if you're you know, wanting to become an artist or a better artist. Have someone to watch and, you know, maybe sketch along with. And again, like, you know, I'm going to come back to these hands, maybe finish them a little bit more. But the next step really here is going to be mostly inking. I kind of know where I'm going with this, you know, and everything. So yeah, this is kind of done in terms of the penciling that's needed, you know. So yeah, I like it. Again, it's a giant, big, hulking, weird creature. Looks. Oh, is that my lead? Yeah, or my graphite? Yeah, must have broke it somehow, but. There. So again, like, you know, that's what I kind of wanted, and that's what he is. He's a big, giant, hulking, you know, Nemesis type zombie. You know, and then we're gonna embellish him even more when we start with inking. Okay, so look at the things. Look at the things we've done. This is great. We got this crazy cool. Plague Doctor Cenobite type guy. That's awesome. We got this super rotting zombie torso. Looking mad, looking mean, looking very mean. That's great. I really like how that's turning out. Oh yeah, we've got the grandma, the Japanese ghost story grandma type zombie. You know, how that happened, I don't know, but it just happened. It just reminds me of that, I think. But yeah, that was not planned. But again, like weird hands. I really like this, and I really like the way she's like contorted and stuff, and how the dress goes and all that. So yeah, this is gonna be fun to. It's gonna be very fun too, and even the foot, like even the weird zombified feet. Yeah. So I really like this, and this will be fun to ink as well. Make that middle toe a little longer. Yeah, because it's weirder. Yeah. I'm just going to erase this part there. Make it a bit. And you know what? The reason I'm erasing is because just of clarity for me. But otherwise, I mean, it's fine to ink on top of right at this point. And that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. But I think I'm going to first put more rips and tears and stuff. In the dress, like even the ends, like should be. I'll put that doily-ish sort of stuff on the ends, but not obviously where it's ripped. But maybe I'll put some like kind of like this, like it's been ripped off, you know. Yeah. So I like that. So that's coming along super well. I really like where that's going. And again, like these were really disappointing me at the beginning. I thought I don't really like them that much. but as I kept looking at them and working on them and fixing them up and just again kind of just playing with them, I'm having a great time, and I'm really liking how these are turning out. Oh, and then we got this country farm boy hulky giant zombie. Yeah. So you know what? Here we go. I'm going to ink him first. This is what we're doing. I'm going to ink this guy first. I'm going to show you a couple of little inking things. Let's see. Why don't I start with a number 3? Okay, this is number 3. Stadler pigment liner. Pigment liner. Yeah, that's what it's called. Oh my goodness, that's good. And I'm really going to have fun with this. I'm really going to take my time, add little... Now I can kind of... You know what? This is where I kind of felt like all night. I felt like being here, inking. Having it all laid out for me. And, that's why I always urge, artists or anyone interested in art to have a few things on the go in different stages of completion, because sometimes you might not be feeling extra excited even or creative, but you want to do work, you want to get work done, you want to get art done, you want to create art, you want to keep up your schedule, or you want to keep up your sort of commitment to it if that's what you have. But regardless of what you're doing, there's always room for just taking a break from it and maybe doing something else that you have on the go, like inking stuff or painting stuff, or I'm going to be doing a bunch of Pokemon tomorrow. I'm going to be doing a whole new batch, probably 10 new Pokemon, and I'm really looking forward to that because I haven't done them in a while, and I really enjoy them. I think other artists or people that go to cons or whatever might think this Rob guy only draws fan art and stuff. And it's look, I really enjoy doing that stuff. I think it's fun. I think those creatures are awesome. I just kind of saved a whole bunch today for reference, and I thought they were awesome. There's bat ones and different bat ones, and what else? What was the one that I really thought was cool? I can't remember what it is now. But I think I saved 20 of them. So we'll see how many I pencil, and I'll be doing washes on them the next couple of days, because I want to take them to the retro fair this weekend, so I can work on them there. So I want to get a bunch done, and I love doing them. I wouldn't be doing this many of them if I didn't like doing them, or if I was doing them for another. I am posting them to get more views and for people that like them, but that's secondary to me doing them for real. I have nothing. I have nothing to hide or embellish or anything. I do them because I enjoy them first. They're like little kaiju to me, and they represent an unlimited array of subject matter, which are valid, which have story and all that. So I take all that in consideration, and I love that, So yes, I love doing the Pokemon zombies. I love doing any kind of cartoon or anime or anything that's established. I like giving my sort of artistic merit or zombie style to it. It's fun. It's fun for me. It's very fun for me. As an artist, I just find that very it's unlimited. You can be super creative, and it allows you to be. And reach fans, reach a different fan base who can see your art, So that's why I love cons too. Like I love cons because you kind of get to do that, work on originals where people are there and looking at your stuff and maybe they want to buy the original. Maybe they want. I've had that happen too, like a couple of times where I let somebody, but it's happened more than once. Way more than once that people have asked to buy originals, and I let someone do that once. And it was the stormtrooper that I was drawing a stormtrooper at a con, and a person asked to buy it, and I said, look, I'll sell it to you for $100, but I got to take a really good photo of it so I can post it, because I post all my art, right? So that was the only thing. So he came back, like he paid me. He came back after the con was over. Well, towards the end of the con, anyway, and it was done. And he took it, and I had a good picture of it, and I posted it. I think a lot of people have seen my zombie stormtrooper, and my other zombie Star Wars stuff. Like I like the old Star Wars, right? So I zombified a lot of the old Star Wars. I zombified some newer Star Wars stuff too, but that was more for fans and actually requests too. I got a request to do that little ball robot. Or whatever it's called. I don't know the name of it. Like it's just letters and numbers or something, I think, or whatever. But I did that robot for somebody because they requested it. So that was another kind of newer, I guess, Star Wars thing. That's a new one. I've never really seen that before. So, but I love doing that stuff though. Like I said, I love doing my take on pop culture things. And zombifying it, like it's always exciting and it's always different, So that's why I've been able to do this for so long, been able to be a zombie artist for so long and make a career out of it because I love it and I never run out of ideas ever, whether I'm making it up on my own or if I'm like doing a Pokemon or something like that. Like there's always something great to do. There's always something fun to do, yeah. And drawing is fun, man. Drawing is fun. Go to my Zombie Daily page, guys, and get maybe inspired to draw on your own, Like, pick up a sketch pad and a pencil and pen, rather. And at the dollar store, man, spend $5 and you've got a world ahead of you that you can draw and you can write in and you can create a little diary in there, and just draw stuff, a little personal sort of memoir, of drawings and musings and little sketches and stuff. Doesn't have to be good, whatever that means, whatever good is. That's not a thing. There's no stakes involved. You just draw kind of whatever it is that you want to do. And, draw from life. If you're on a commute, do that. Like instead of looking at your cell phone and stuff, get a little wee sketch pad and draw some things. You'll look cool too. You'll look very cool. But I've said it before. I've said it all before. I really believe in it too. Like I draw all the time, and I enjoy it. It really helps. It really helps with your mental health. I think a lot. And confidence and everything. Really, like there's no real downside to it. The only downside is what you would perceive it to be. Well, otherwise, there is no downside to just drawing and getting out your sketch pad and doodling and stuff. And again, it doesn't have to be good. It could be the funniest thing you ever seen. It could be the best thing you've ever seen. It could be really good. It could be nothing but just sketches and doodles and weird junk. Doesn't matter. There are no stakes. You are in charge. You're the boss of this. And nobody ever has to see it even, it's just a window into your soul kind of thing, you know, and it's very therapeutic, guys. I'm telling you, I vouch for it for sure, you know. So I'm a raving lunatic. I'm an escaped mental patient if I didn't have my drawings. So yeah, so here we go. Like, look at what we're doing here. We're doing some, and you know, if you want to look closely, here I am putting on the finger here this hatching, which hatching is a technique where you use the side of your pen a little bit when you're doing it, but you're just creating another sort of bit of form in there, shadow, you know, and again, that's a lot. Like that's an underground comic guys used to use a lot of this stuff, and I love hatching and cross hatching. So then you can cross hatch at a very small angle, or you can cross hatch at a great angle, you know, to create more of a shadow or shade or form or weight, you know. But yeah, I'm kind of doing that here with these boils, like using that hatching and cross hatching, and then with the thumb here, his thumb, I'm gonna really blacken that in. But yeah, and again, I'm using hatching kind of all over the place right now, and then, you know, maybe going over it again with some cross hatching or different lines, thicker lines, you know. But for the most part, again, you know, as you can see, me inking, you know, I'm just using some very light hatching lines on the already drawn areas, like on the areas that are already, you know, inked. I'm kind of embellishing them a little more, rendering them, if you will, you know, adding weight, texture a little bit, you know. So that's kind of what I'm doing, and that's the kind of the side of my pen, you know. Maybe I'll do that so you guys can see it better. But yeah, I'm gonna do the mouth here, and, you know, put in those details. And again, they're just little, almost like dots and dashes, you know. I'm not taking a lot of risks here. I'm just doing like very small little details and then working them up, like, you know, going, oh, okay, well, I can actually put more in there. You know, maybe I want to put some like rotting flesh in there. So yeah, I'm kind of rotting it up a little bit, giving it that type of texture, you know. Or if I wanted to tighten the skin, I'd put like more staccato lines, you know. But you do it, it's basically like spice. You do it to your flavor, right? You put as much or as little as you need if you think you've described the form well enough, you know. And sometimes you want to go like over, and you want to really show a lot of detail and stuff, even though the form is described fairly well. You know, you might want to add just a little bit more oomph in there, a little bit more pizzazz, whatever in there, and you know, create more of a texture, perhaps. You know, but yeah, and that's what I'm kind of doing right now. Right now. And yeah, putting those sort of neck veins in there, really love that, with a lot of other sort of textures in there from his, you know, from his rotting flesh, you know. But again, like, lots of nice shadow in there, lots of nice sort of descriptive details and shadows in with the veins, you know, the veins and the tendons and stuff like that. So I'm adding, again, even within that, small like craters and stuff, you know. Really want to make that area like a focal point almost, you know, to describe the rest of him without you even looking at the rest of him, you know. You can tell everything you need by just like looking at his face and this kind of area of his shoulders, you know. So, but you draw the rest anyway. But yes, eye holes. He's like more skull, but he's still got skin on him. And here we are inking, like an inking kind of really with dots and dashes and some cross hatching and things like that. You know, putting in those details, like the fingernails are going to be, you know, kind of broken, and the joints are going to be really wrinkled, and the flesh is going to be like sort of like stretched over the bone and other tissue, you know. So that kind of detail, you know, that kind of those characteristics really need to shine through, you know. And yeah, that's what all of these kinds of little dots and dashes and featherings. Like feathering is more like, you know, if I'm going with, like, say the boot here, and I'm just going foop, 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 foop. It's hatching too, but it's more feathery. Like, it's not line. It's more of a feathery line. It tapers, right? It's a tapering line. So yeah, you know, those things are the same, but they're different. They kind of do the same thing, but in different ways. You know, with a different outcome, a different look. You know. So yeah, and especially if you're using them for different textures, right? So yeah, there's cross hatching, and then there's feathering, and then there's, you know, hatching, and then there's, you know, stippling and all that kind of stuff, all created not necessarily for detail, but for tone, you know, and exciting kind of tonal rendering, right? So, you know, if you want to look at those guys from like from the 90s, Marvel 90s, like art, like McFarlane and those guys, they put in like all these needless like feather lines and like weird, all these lines, and it was like, oh, look at how detailed it is. It's like, no, it's not real detail. It's just lines used to describe form, right? So, you know, and sometimes they'd be like, you'd get these inkers that were so awful that it looked like their cross hatching was part of the costume lines, because they were so, oh man, like some of that stuff was just the worst, man. Like that sort of image inspired stuff, you know? Yeah, it was awful, but hindsight's 20/20, man. Like, you don't know until, like, I bought that stuff too, you know. I bought that stuff too when I was a little boy in Austria. When I was a little boy, you know, in the 90s, yeah. When I was a little boy in the 90s, I bought all that stuff too, you know. But my favorite guy from that, I mean, I don't even want to call it that, those types of guys, but Art Adams, who basically came first and set he was the guy basically those guys aped. You know, they did his shtick, but like faster and sloppier, you know what I mean? So yeah. Like, I think especially Liefeld. Liefeld did, I think, the worst, you know, out of all of them. But I always thought McFarlane was thought he was way better than he was. I thought he did the derpiest women, like, and fashions, like women's fashions. Like it was awful, I thought, man. But I get it. A lot of people like his stuff because they grew up, or they bought comics at that time, and that's kind of the only guy they knew, right? Or he was a hot artist at the time, you know. But I don't think that guy's like really evolved as an artist over the years. I think he kind of is the same, you know. But yeah. Meh. Whatevers. There's so many great artists out there, man. Like, you know, and I think that's a real personal choice too. But you know, when I talk about like someone's art, liking it or not liking it, there's a reason. It's not because I just don't like the person or anything like that. It's like, nah, that doesn't speak to me. You know, some artists are like that, and that's fine. Other people will like them for sure, so it's all good. But you know, and then there's the artists that I go, they're absolutely great, but I just don't like their style. You know, and really good artists too. And I know they have massive fan bases. I'm not really gonna say the names, but they're artists that I just don't like, not because of anything else, but their art doesn't hit me. You know, it doesn't sort of man. You know when you like something, right? Come on, like you don't need to be told to like something. If you don't like something, you don't like something, man. Like, and that's it. Like, there's no explanation. There's no, like, you don't really have to justify that or anything. That's one of those things that's yours, that, you know, you own. You get to own that. And whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, if you don't like something because of, you know, your gut feeling, your immediate, like, reaction to it without any bias, then, yeah. I mean, you know, what are you going to do, man? What are you going to do? That's like, you know, behavior modification, man, is what you're talking about. So, no, if you don't like something, you don't like something. But, I mean, I always have a reason. There's always a reason for me, you know, especially with art, why I like or don't like anything. Like, you know, there isn't just that it sucks thing, you know. There's more often at times, if not always, you know, an explanation. I demand an explanation. You know, so yeah. And sometimes too, you can see potential in an artist and go like, "Oh man, I wish they would, you know, live up to their potential." You know, because you like them, because you like their work so much. And you wish they'd, you know, maybe be more present, you know, in their work or whatever. So yeah, I don't know. It's just it's feelings, whatever, man. You know, yeah, just opinions. Everybody's got opinions, right? That's a personal thing, you know. I think, and I mean those things, all of those components go into your work too, into your art, right? So those things that you want to avoid, and those things you want to sort of, you know, aspire to, like those techniques and things that you see other artists do, and you're like, oh, you know what? I love the way they did that. I'm gonna try doing that. I think that's a really, you know, good way of blah blah blah, whatever, you know. Like again, I remember seeing Simon Bisley's art on Slain for the first time, and I was like, "Wow!" You know, I think it was a heavy metal mag first that I saw his work, and then after that, it was I actually bought the Slain like books, like the just Slain, you know. From that British publisher, 2000 AD, I think, or I can't remember who. Maybe it isn't them, but whoever published, I've got actually them, because yeah, of course I do. But Bisley kind of opened my eyes to the whole, like, oh, you know, look at all these different styles that like he's incorporating into this story so seamlessly, like sketches almost, and then like, oh, he's put a leaf in there, he's done collage. And he's not collage, but yeah, like you know, he's used all these mediums, and it was okay, you know, and that really, like, that to me really opened my eyes, and you know, I thought that was so like interesting and different, and you know, wonderful, and kind of like, oh, assuring too, because maybe I could do that, you know, maybe I could employ some of those, you know, styles and stuff. And it's okay to do that, you know, instead of a rigid comic book style, you know, which, you know, you have to admit, obviously it was created for a reason, right? Tells a good story, the rigid comic book style, right? But Bisley did a lot of stuff to sort of, and I think that was just the first time I really saw that he was, you know, doing that, an artist was doing that kind of thing where, you know, it's, man, it's very much a mixed bag of different things, you know, and wow, it was really great to see that, you know. I'd never really seen that before. So it was more Marvel Comics and DC Comics, man. But up till that point, well, of course, like, you know, heavy metal. I loved heavy metal comics and stuff like that. But meh, I was more into comics than heavy metal, I think. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just like the. I don't know. I like that 4-color style, man. Those Bronze Age comics. I don't care what it is. If it's got a 20-cent cover price on it or 15-cent cover price on it, I'm buying it, man. I don't care if it's Little Lulu or Millie the Model, or well, not Little Lulu. Marvel never had that, but Millie the Model or Harvey or like Ringo Kid or Monsters Unleashed or anything, man. I will devour it. I love that Bronze Age stuff, and of course, like, you know, Fantastic Four, Avengers, and all that stuff. But you know, even the weird titles. I just love that style. I just love that look. You know, I'm an easy mark for that stuff, man. You know, yeah. So we're adding all this detail, and you're watching it go down, man. Look at that. We're getting that done. We're not screwing around. Yeah, I'm adding the crazy fresh, crazy silly fresh details in there, man. Look at that. And it's becoming, and again, man, when I started doing these today, earlier in the live stream, I was not impressed. I was not impressed with my drawings. But upon more scrutiny and a little bit more love, they turned out to be pretty cool. I really like these. I really like how these are turning out. Yeah, we're really putting on the inks for this guy. A lot of interesting details and textures, and you know, having the ripped jeans. I love that. You know, I love that. You know, being able to add all those details in there of the jeans. You know, the jean material. It's got a great feel, right? Jean material has got a great feel. You know, it's tough and creates like big folds. You know, big thick folds that are nice to draw. You know, so yeah, and putting the rips in there, putting all the rips in there, and of course, like, you know, adding these weird boils and veins and all that stuff to his arms and fingers. You know what? That's, again, I just kind of went, oh, you know what? I want to do that. I want to add that in there. And the next thing you know, it's happened. It's already happened. I could tell you my evil plan, but I've already done it. It's true. Yes. Unlike other villains, give you time to thwart it. Oh, I've been thwarted. Oh, I've been thwarted, all right. I'll tell you. Thwarted. I love that word. Thwarted. I've been thwarted. There. A big, hulking, you know, diseased, pus-covered, veined, gross, rotting, filthy zombie. Filthy. Yes. Filthy zombie. Brains are for kids. Filthy zombie. Adding more detail in the, and then, you know what, going like, okay, well, here's some shirt. Here's some where shirt was. Some veins in there. You know what? It could get nice and pricey with the veins in there, and do some nice, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna really, you know, add those in there and give them a nice distance, and you know, give them a lot of space, and put some cool veins. Are cool. I like the veins, and why not give them more? Why not add more? You know, you could always add inside of the veins the disgusting pustules that sort of are leaking and are open and festering, you know. But the veins add a nice touch. These are the things that I think of when you're drawing, when you're drawing zombies. And you know what? When I'm drawing unicorns, hey man, I'm thinking of what that horn texture is. I have a feeling it's kind of like a deer. It's got a soft fuzz on it in the molting season. But yeah, they get bigger, I think. I don't know. Yeah. Unicorns now. Now he's talking about unicorns. We need an intervention. So I watched the death of a unicorn. That was pretty interesting. A little uneven, but not bad. I was rather entertained. I mean, the concept itself, right? How could you not be intrigued by that? But yeah, it was uneven. I thought, I didn't know what kind of movie it wanted to be. Like, it was satirical, then serious, then, I don't know. Yeah, it was kind of weird. But, again, entertaining at least. But, yeah, I wouldn't waste my time on it again. Yeah. Just personally. Maybe, I don't know, maybe. I'm not sure, I doubt it. You seem pretty sure there, Rob. Yeah, well, never say never. Yeah, adding some nice, really great, tight details in there, in the fingers, making them nice and real, the skin peeled back from the fingernails. And again, having those little pustules and boils and stuff in there, I really like that idea. That really reminds me of when Stephen Bissett and John Totleben worked on Swamp Thing. And I found that their art was probably the closest thing to horror art, like pure horror art I've ever seen. The guys at EC, notwithstanding, those, in Bernie Wrightson and all those guys, all those types of, all that kind of art, yeah, I get it. Very obviously, amazingly horror oriented and all that. But man, something about their art was very unsettling. And I think that's what made it. That's what made it for me so interesting. I was actually frightened almost to look at some of it, back then. Yeah. It was frightening. It was frightening. They really knew how to, that space between the eyes, that certain dark spot here, there, the boils and radiation poisoning. What does that look like? What does that do to a person? And how do you do it with that type of inking style and stuff? All of those things, that little fear monkey, man, what an amazing run of comics, yeah, that was astonishing. Pure, totally amazing horror comics, Yeah. Stephen Bissett and John Totleben. I love saying those names. They got cool sounding names. And yeah, man, really great artists in their own right, of course. But together, in tandem, they were just second to none, man. Yeah. Yeah, just amazing. Yeah, those runs on comics where you've got you've got guys like John Byrne and Terry Austin and Chris Claremont and that era. The Neil Adams. Who's the writer? I can't remember the writer now off the top of my head, but doing Green Arrow, Green Lantern. Those books, those runs of books, man, that are just classics, man. Frank Miller's stuff, that stuff too. John Byrne, just even on his own. Classic runs on comics. John Byrne on his own while doing another title by writing and drawing another title of the same month. You know, he's doing Fantastic Four and Alpha Flight at the same time. Like, good Lord. You know? Oh, man. Yeah, that guy was an incredible storyteller, man. Like, he could really, really tell a story visually, you know, ins and outs. Just impeccable. You know. And always surprising, I thought. Never boring. Like, and you know, I would see his stuff a billion times, but I'd always be surprised by something that he did, you know. I'm not easily impressed. Yeah, but Byrne would always, and you know, a splash page that was like, wow, it's so detailed, it's almost like not like his regular art, you know. Things like that, yeah. I used to really love his work so much. And I still do. I mean, you never stop loving a you know, thing you grew up with type of thing. If it had that, you know, resonance in your life, you know. It's just like seeing, you know, I don't know why, but especially Hulk comics from the Bronze Age, I just love. I love John Severin's and Mary Severin's inking on Herb Trimp. Herb Trimp. Man, what an amazing team there too, you know. And he just had that logo that I love too, that big brick Hulk logo, you know, the classic Hulk brick logo. Yeah, I love that. You know. So again, we're adding inks to this big fella, and man, it's really coming along, guys. And you're seeing all this stuff happen. Like, this was a blank page not that long ago. Less than 2 hours ago, this was a blank page. As was this, and this, and this, and this. These were all blank pages less than 2.5 hours ago. So yes, man, we have done a lot. Let's switch gears a little bit and try doing some work on this guy. Again, I'm going to use those really tiny little detail inks for him. And you can all watch it live, happening right now. Check out Zombie Daily, guys. Check out Zombie Daily for all of the art that you see here, posted every single day on Zombie Daily. Man, it's such an artistic treat because there's just so much stuff there. There's so much stuff there for you to enjoy. So please do check that out. The link is in the description below. And man, it's a biggie. It's a biggie. Pack a lunch. Stay hydrated. Check out the site. Check out all the art. Scroll to your heart's content. There's more zombie art there probably than anywhere on the planet. And man, I love doing it. I love doing it for you guys. And here we are doing more today. And this is kind of like a bit of a tutorial. If you want to call it that, or, you know, like a draw along, if you want to call it that. I'm basically drawing this stuff from scratch for you guys, and just to show you the kind of process I use for things like this, for drawings like this specifically. You know, just drawing stuff from nothing, and making it up kind of as I go along. And this is kind of the stuff that you can do too, to sort of, you know, relax at the end of the day, you know, draw when you're on your commute in the morning, or after work, you know, if you have that long commute where you're sort of you know, in a vessel of some sort, or in a conveyance of some sort, and you know, you have time and you can, you know, look out the window or look at other people or look at anything, like literally. You know, even drawing like someone's sleeve or pant leg and foot and shoe or whatever, like when you're on the subway, just doing that is great, you know, in a pant leg, and that's it, you know. Yeah, you can do a series of drawings like that where it's just part of a person, you know, their clothing or whatever. There you go. There's the $1 million idea for you. You know, but yeah, like just bringing a cheap little dollar store sketch pad with you, and a pencil and a pen, eraser. You know, that's it. That's all you need. Most get a mechanical pen. It has an eraser attached to it. Then you don't need anything. You don't need a sharpener. You don't need an eraser. Everything's with that pencil rather, and yeah, bring a pen. And you have that sketchbook, man. $5, I think. $5, I think, at the dollar store, you could probably get away with it. You know, nice voice crack there. Going through another puberty. Yeah, I'm getting zits. Yeah, cool, real smooth. But yeah, I'm growing more facial hair, like higher up. I find it's weird. Yeah, I'm going through another puberty. Yeah, you can watch that live too, yo weirdos. Let's watch this guy go through puberty. Look at him. But yes, here we go with some new zombie drawings from scratch. And man, we're having a great time. I hope you're enjoying the live stream, guys. Please subscribe to the channel. That would be absolutely wonderful. I would love for you to do that. It would really mean a lot. Get me in that higher echelon of you know, the algorithm streams. Maybe get me in front of a few more eyes. And spread some art love, because I do this all the time. And you know, I'm not like I do comics, but I'm not a comic book artist. I do illustrations, but I'm not quite an illustrator. I'm kind of a freelance artist too, to a degree, but I also have zombie portraits. Business that I basically invented zombie portraits way back in 2006, if you didn't know. So yes, that is my business, and I've been doing zombie portraits for, well, it'll be 20 years next year. It'll be 20 years I've been doing zombie portraits. So yeah, I got another big order this week. Good Lord, good goodness. Yeah, I was this morning saw that there. That was a nice big massive order. So really happy to do that. Yeah, but doing zombie portraits forever, and I love it. I'll never get tired of it. To me, it's the best thing in the universe to do. I love it, and it's you know, it's a huge legacy of art that I'm kind of like, you know, creating, leaving behind, if you will, at some point, I'm sure, as I shuffle off this mortal coil at some point, you know. But man, guys, honestly, I could live another 5-6 lifetimes and never get bored, man. There's so much stuff I want to do, and you know, yeah, seize the day, guys, carpe diem and all that stuff. Yeah, Tempest fuck it. But yeah, like all that stuff. Honestly, man. And you know what? Let's face it. Like, we're all guilty of crapping out sometimes. Like, and you know, not doing a hell of a lot. But you know, I think that in the grand scheme of things, you're really shortchanging yourself, and you know, and you're maybe wasting some potential that's really there, that you know isn't too much of a burden on you, and could actually be helpful for you. You know, drawing. You know, and getting out some of your frustrations and helping you think more clearly, because you're thinking on a different level when you're drawing. You know. And yeah, man, it really does. It really does get out frustrations. I remember when I was first, like, when I was drawing when I was a younger kid, it would be like, yeah, I draw like more, like, not violent things, but like monsters and things like that were, you know, crushing cities and things, you know, and that kind of like helped my sort of development into an older person, you know, from being a kid, you know. So yeah, man, that kind of helped, you know, that helped the transition, I guess. So yeah, drawing has always been part of my life, and I really love it. I think you guys can tell, right? And if you want to hop on and kind of you know, do the kinds of things that I do here with the pen, you know, please do check out some, or actually rather pick up some of the tips. Pick up some of the tips that I'm kind of laying down with just the way I'm kind of doing this too, like with dots and dashes and hatching and some cross hatching and things like that. But really, what I'm doing here is I'm kind of working it out still, but with the pen now. You know, creating that texture. And I really love the way that looks. I really love the way that's like so curvy and gristly. You know, it looks heavy. Like it looks like his head is heavy. You know, because there's so much, you know, kind of going on in there, with all the hanging meat and tendons and gristle and stuff. So yeah, I really like the way this is turning out. And again, like I don't know if you were here when we first started, but like I was not liking it. I was not liking the where I was going with any of these. And yeah, they turned out to be rather good after all. So, you know, going back to them, like after a little while, and then seeing where you made the mistakes from a different vantage point really helps. You know, so yeah, that's why again I always say it's always good to have a lot of different pieces on the go, like sketches like this on the go, that you can sort of go back to, you know, when you're like, oh, you know what, I feel like penciling now, or I feel like inking now, or you know, you have something that's already penciled that you can ink. I mean, you guys saw it happen right in front of your eyes. I was like, yeah, now I'm doing this a lot better because I'm inking it. I was more in the mood to do that, you know. But I had to get through the drawing first because I didn't have anything drawn, and I wanted to show you guys, obviously, right, stuff like doing stuff from scratch. Like that was the whole kind of point, right? So I was like, yeah, I got to get through it, even if I'm not there right now, you know. But after doing a few takes, and you know what, I totally changed that Plague Doctor one. This is what it started with. Yeah, it's awful. But you know what? It's awful because I didn't draw it right, and there's too much like work going on in there. It could be an actually really cool steampunk type drawing, and I might end up using it. However, I didn't like it, so I actually redid it as this, and I really love this. Like I love that sort of Cenobite Plague Doctor look, you know, to him. Yeah, I really like it. And you know what? I didn't just change it. I just used the other one as a sort of inspiration, I guess. You know, but yeah, this one's gonna be great. Again, I'm really looking forward to doing this one. But yeah, very Cenobite like, you know, Plague Doctor. I got first dibs on that. Yeah, Cenobite Plague Doctor would be mega cool. Think of that. Yeah, I might even do a proper one. Like, I kind of stumbled into this one, but maybe I'll do one with the intent of that. You know, with the intent of doing a Plague Doctor zombie. Or Cenobite, rather. Yeah. If you guys want to see me do that, give me a holler, and I will. Give me a hell yeah. And you know what? Either way, I think I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna enjoy it. Oh, I'm gonna enjoy this. Yeah, I think it'll be a lot of fun. Lots of like scarring and leather and that big beak thing I think a lot of the gas mask sort of fetishy stuff added to it. You know, yeah, I think, man, there's a lot of potential in there. You know, yeah, I'll do it. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. We'll see. In between things, in between stuff. Yeah, I got like five new zombie portraits this week already. I opened up my email this morning, and yeah, there's 5 orders sitting there waiting, and which was great. I love the smell of zombie portraits in the morning. Yeah, really do though. And yeah, guys, order a zombie portrait. Go to zombieportraits.com and boom, it's a very easy step to do. Everybody's doing it. You know, everybody's doing it. And I've been doing zombie portraits for 20 years next year, man. Next year's the 20th anniversary of zombie portraits. Oh my God. Yeah. Long history of zombie portraits, and just being a zombie artist in general. You know, man, I've had quite an interesting career. Quite an interesting career indeed. So, you know, I worked for the Walking Dead show. I worked for the Talking Dead show. Like, that was such a crazy, like, you know, it's like, how are they finding me up here when they're in Atlanta and they've got, like, you know, all of these talented artists, I'm sure they know, but they wanted me to do work for them, and I was like very honored to do that. You know, like what a wonderful opportunity. And I remember when I got the email from the Walking Dead show, I was doing, what the hell was I? I was either doing the entire staff of this video game company, or I was doing the playing card, the bicycle zombie playing cards. So either way, I was doing that. But I think it was the first one. I think it was the CEOs for this video game company wanted me to do all of their employees. So I think there was 33, because the year before it was 22. So there was 33 new employees. So they wanted me to do it, I think, before Halloween or something. So there was a definite deadline. So doing that many zombie portraits, plus they wanted their own zombie portrait, like a 20 by 30 of the 3 of them in this corporate, like I guess this corporate shot that they got in the studio or whatever. A really good photo. So it was great to work from. But so they wanted all that. And so I get this email about somebody wanting two couples portraits, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm finally gonna have to turn someone down. Like, I'm gonna have to finally say I can't do it. You know, unless you don't mind when you get it, because I've got this like giant corporate gig, like, you know, to do. Like 33 zombie portraits and then like a 20 by 30 one. So I open the email and they go, and they're like, "Hi, I'm so and so from The Walking Dead, and yada yada yada. This is what we're asking for you to do." And I'm like, "Yes, of course, because how am I going to say no to The Walking Dead, right? How am I going to say no to that show?" So of course I did it, but man, that took years off my life. That's why I've got this, man. It's one of the reasons. But man, you don't say no. You know, you don't say no to anything. Like an opportunity like that, when it hits you, like, man, you do whatever it takes. You know, you do whatever it takes to do it. You know. So yeah, deadlines are a very important thing to me. So, you know, So yeah, here we go, guys. We're doing the inking finally on these. Finally, it's like less than 2.5 hours ago. We're doing the inking on this, and man, we're having a great time, and I hope you're digging it. You know, because this is a really fun part, and I like to add like all the little details and like craters and textures in the skin and bone and all of that stuff. Adding little polyps and you know, slime and rot, all of that stuff. You know, adding all that, and of course, putting in thicker lines for or double lines for, you know, darker areas. You know, and I think I'm gonna do my classic, you know, thicker holding line around the entire thing to make it pop more. But I'm definitely gonna keep that chest plate, you know, jagged. I love that. I love the spinal column, the spinal bones. You know, again, not accurate, but they look cool and they signify the fact that it's a zombie and blah blah blah. You know, you want to use the characteristics, right? You want to draw those characteristics in there. And again, I'm putting in like these. I'm ad-libbing. I'm doing these spontaneously. These veins, you know, and gonna be putting those. And those are over the line. The lines here that identify the tendons that are like straining in his neck. You know, so I'm putting those veins over those lines. Yeah. You know, just drawing them in there and then like inking them in there, and then, you know, I'm gonna erase the inside of them to make them more, you know, obviously veins. So that's the trick. That's the trick. Just doing it right on top of your pencils, right? Because it's ink, and then you could just erase it. Yes. So yeah, guys, I hope you're having a great time watching. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. Blink. And hopefully, if you haven't subscribed yet, you do. And don't forget to like the video if you do like the video. That would be awesome. Really appreciate that. Appreciate your help there. And check out Zombie Daily, guys. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Shoot 'em. Check out Zombie Daily for the simple fact that you'll probably see more zombie art there than you've ever seen in your entire life on this planet Earth, all done by myself. All by myself. And man, it's a hoot and a holler, I'm telling you. It'll dazzle you and perplex you. In that order. There. How about that? There's some zombie action for ye. Yeah. Now, man, I was not happy with this at all when I first started it, and now I'm very happy with it. And again, it came through, you know, doing the sketch, maybe not digging it that much, coming back to it, adding a little bit more to it, seeing where the problems were, actually critiquing it, like giving it a little critique, pretending it was maybe someone else's art, and going, you know what, I think it needs this, that's off, blah, 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 that needs to be rounder, I think if you use this, that will work, and so on and so forth. So every time I'd come back to it, I'd add something better or fix something, and like this, I think this one was the hardest one to do that with, but I really love this one. I think it's creepy, very Deadite, very sort of Japanese, ghost story, like horror type thing, you know, that kind of vibe I find. So I'm going to be inking this now, and again putting in all of those little weird details and textures, you know, in this. And they're all different. Like, they're all different. You know, these are all the drawings are different. Wow, like, oh, you know what? Actually, the ones that are kind of similar, I find these guys are kind of similar. But again, like this one guy's going one way and the other guy's going the other way. So this guy's going kind of this way, you know, in his like he's more of a 3/4 and this is more of a straight on, I think, shot. But nonetheless, they're kind of a little more similar. But yeah, you got this guy that sort of more profile, much more profile 3/4, and then him, which is, yeah, like I think much more of a profile shot, you know. And then this scary granny, man, like scary elderly zombie deadite thing. Yeah, gonna be adding some nice teeth in there. Nice elderly teeth in there. Big smiles, everyone. Yeah, smiling zombies are, I think, the most creepy, right? And you know what? When people would order zombie portraits, they would like say, "Oh, you know what? All I've got is like photos of us smiling. Is that okay?" And I'm like, "That's actually way creepier." You know, or they'd ask like if they had to make a face or anything, and I'm like, "No, you know what? The more deadpan you are, the better." You know, because you'll look more zombie-ish. You know, so yeah, little zombie portrait tips. You know, if you're getting a zombie portrait, yeah, you don't have to do a zombie face. Although I'm not going to stop you from doing that if you want to do a zombie face. You know, that's absolutely fine. But yeah, you needn't, and especially like when people sort of order for someone else, like they might not even have a really good picture. They might have to get something off, you know, Facebook or whatever, you know, and because they don't want the person to know. So yeah, like, you know, that's fine too. That's fine too. You know, I've worked with, you know, I don't want to, I don't like to, but I've worked with really bad photos before. I've rarely turned people away because of a photo. I really try to make it work. And I'll be absolutely honest with you, if I can't, then I will not attempt it because I don't want to take your money for something I'm not confident in. I wouldn't do that. I don't care how desperate I would be. You know what, man? You don't steal from people. You don't do that to people. Yeah, people have it tough enough. Individuals have it tough enough. You don't do that to folks, man. You know, that's just something that seems utterly natural and uncompromising about. You know, it's kind of the way I grew up. You know. That value that you don't, you know, you just don't steal from folks, man. You don't steal from people in the park. Yeah, yeah. I like this. I like this. You know, hoop earrings. Yeah, the hoop earrings are great. I did that a little too fast. Hey, too fast. But putting the hair on there, yeah, it's sort of like you know, that old lady afro, I guess, super curly perm hair, you know. I'm getting my hair done. It looks like Lego. Speaking of Lego, guys, oh my goodness! So I just lucked into a ton of Star Wars Lego, and I am going to be building that stuff and putting it into Lego City as an amusement park, as a Star Wars like theme park. So because I have to use it, it's so awesome. Like I never realized how amazing some of those Star Wars sets are. Like the giant walker, like the snow walker, and those little sort of chicken guys from the Ewok planet and all that, Endor, and all of those things. Man, there's some amazing old Lego Star Wars sets, man. Like they do stuff. Like, you know, there's little things where like the legs will move or something slides in, and yeah, it's awesome. So, yeah, I got a bunch of that. I just cleaned it. That's what I did this weekend. You want to know what I did this long weekend? I washed Lego. because it was like rather neglected. In fact, incredibly neglected. So I washed like 5 or 6 sinkfuls of Lego, and the last one is drawing right now. And it's all Star Wars. It's all Star Wars, like the old Star Wars stuff. Yeah. So I'm gonna be building it and adding it to Lego City. And man, I'm gonna be doing more Lego videos, guys. I want you to check out the Lego Star Wars stuff I just got. I'll be kind of doing a little. Maybe I'll even do a little bit of a live stream or something, or I'll just show you guys. I'll just sweep the camera across the table of drawing Legos, and you can check out the score. It's really crazy, man. It's very crazy. So, but it was in bad shape. Like, it was really dusty and dirty, you know. And it was in a what do you call it? Blue box, you know, blue box, a recycling box. Some of it, and then some of it was in a dirty shopping bag. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's all nice now, and I'm looking forward to building some of it, because wow, it's really cool. I was gonna integrate it into Lego City, but I'm like, no, this stuff is too wicked to do that with, you know. So yeah, I have to include it as a theme park, I think. A Lego theme park. Yeah. That's okay. I don't think too many Star Wars nerds or whatever will balk at that. I'm keeping, like, the whole structure of the things. I'm literally making the scenes. I'm actually kind of making the scenes. Like, you know, I'm going to make it, like, the stuff that's on Endor, I'm going to try to make it look like it is on Endor. And, you know, people can actually, you know, go into the theme park and check out the you know, Star Wars theme park. You know, I think that's kind of cool. You know, rather than integrate it into the city, like make all these big gray buildings, you know. So, yeah. I don't know. You know what? I don't know if you guys have ever seen the city. What is it? It's an actual hall, or no? It's an actual stadium. No, what is it? It's kind of like an arena. Yes, it's an arena rather. And so I had all these like superhero figures and stuff, like minifigs, and the Batmobile and all this stuff. And I'm like, what do I do with this? Like, it's not really city stuff, but I want to use it. Like, and all these weird minifigs, like this banana guy, and all this stuff. And I go, you know what? I'm going to make this community center into a Comic-Con. And everybody's dressed up. Like, all the Lego minifigs that are there are, like, you know, cosplayers. And yeah, so I have that. So I'll show that to you. If you haven't seen it on in the videos, check that out. And I should actually show you guys. I'll do a Lego City video soon, and you guys can see where I am. All you guys that are interested in Lego stuff, like, that's probably not all of you, but you know, I love Lego so much, and yes, I really love to play Lego, build Lego, and, you know, show you guys, man. Show you guys some of the builds I do. You know, it's a lot of fun. You know. So, yeah. So here again, I'm doing this real, almost, I would say, Deadite type of zombie, I think. Maybe sort of a Japanese ghost story type movie zombie. You know, something like that, supernatural. You know, but undead. You know, yeah. Yeah, and I think this is kind of cool. It's an old lady with like crazy, like, arms that, you know, extend, but they're rotten and stuff, and she's all like ripped up, and yeah, emaciated. But again, like these are all, like you guys saw right from the beginning, right? They were all created organically from a blank piece of paper. So if you wanna fast forward, or you want to rewind rather, to the beginning of this video, you'll actually see all these things come together. You know, from blank pieces of paper, like even like this. You know, and this is far from done. There's way more work to be put into this, which I'll be doing in subsequent videos. In fact, if you guys want, I'll actually finish all of these in the next live stream. You can actually see more like hatching happen, more feathering, more cross hatching, and all that kind of stuff. Like this is kind of what I'm doing here, you know. Because a lot of you have asked about like art tips and you know, drawing tips and things like that, and I thought, what better way to sort of show you guys than to do sketches from scratch and build them up, you know, and so you can kind of see that process, you know. And I'm adding details, and I'm adding sort of all kinds of things, keeping in mind, you know, what it is. It's a zombie, so there's like dirt, and there's rot, and there's texture, and there's, you know, drapery, and folds, and tears, and all kinds of things like that. So I'm adding all those details in kind of as I go, you know. But first, of course, I did the skeleton, or the, you know, quick sketch, which again you guys all saw earlier. They weren't great. I wasn't happy with any of them, but by the time I got to the last one, I was like, okay, this one has potential. And then I started going back and fixing all the first ones I did, you know, which I didn't think were that great, and they weren't. So I had to do a lot of fixing. But now I'm really happy with them, you know, and I felt like I was more in the mood to ink anyway, and it kind of shows, because I don't feel like I did fantastic penciling at the beginning of the live stream, but now, you know, these are all come together, and man, they look great. I think, you know, again, they're not finished, but yeah, they're really coming along. You know, this one's really fleshed out, you know, and even this one is, you know, kind of, it's getting there too, you know, and I'm gonna use a different pen with that. This is the first time I've used a different pen since I started, so I'm gonna use this chisel pen, because again, the clothing, the drapery here is more, it's that kind of fabric that has sharper folds, you know. So that's what I'm doing with this chisel pen, is doing the sharper folds, you know. I can show that better with this type of pen, you know. And even in the thicker arms here, or the shoulder pad sort of things, whatever you want to call them, you know. Because you want that to contrast with that sort of doily look for the collar, you know. And yeah, she's a grandma that's turned into like a zombie creature, supernatural zombie creature, you know. So that's kind of where this came from. And once I established that, I established sort of a backstory for her. And, you know, thought, okay, well, that's the ghost story, the Japanese ghost story type zombie is the kind I want to do. And it has that bit of a deadite feel to it too, you know, with the blank eyes, the big huge blank eyes, you know, and the turning of a human into a demon zombie, you know, having that quality really, you know, signifies that deadite sort of thing, you know, yeah. The chattering, swallow your soul, type demon creature, you know? So yeah, I like that, you know? Yeah, it's true though. It's true. Putting some, again, like using this pen to create those thicker black lines, and I'm also going to add some, like the holes where there's There's tears in the fabric, and you know there's going to be tears at the bottom too. Yeah, that's going to look great when once it's fully realized and all the blacks in there solid and all the tears and rips and textures are in there. That's going to look great. You can see it coming. You can see it happening with that chisel pen, and this is one of those elegant writers. You get them in I think a 4-pack. Yeah, you get them in a 4-pack. So yeah, that's what that is. So yes. But now I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be doing the. Yeah, and you know what? Okay, so I got to find. Let me find my. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I wonder if this little sticker is the size of this. It's way too big. Okay. I gotta find my. Where is it? My little template. My template for the. Oh, where is it here? No. Is it there? Yeah, my template for the circles. Where's my circle template? Oh. Come on, Matt. Oh, I just had it. Where is it? Oh. No. Is it under here? No. Is it? No. Is it here? No. Why? And I need it. I almost never need it, but now I need it. Okay, well, let me see. What do I have that circle template enough for me to do a good circle on for his eye? Okay, this is the biggest circle I could get. Okay, well, let me see what I can do. I can't believe I'm doing this. Where is... Okay, my pencil's here. Okay, so that's that. Man, let me see if I can... Let's see if I can have enough control to do a circle. Okay, good. Okay, I do have enough control. That's good. Because that's a good circle. That's a good circle. That's not a bad circle, I think. But this circle is a little off, and I'm going to make it more close to this good circle. Yeah, because I don't have a template, so I'm going to fake a circle here. But that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. There. And you know what? I'm actually going to use a thick, dark line under there to make it look thicker. To make the actual eye hole thing thicker. So put that in there with those teeth. Like, just grinding, basically. Oh, and you know what? I will use this for this circle. The outer circle, yeah. And then ape that. There. Monkey see, monkey do. And then I'll use an actual circle for the inside from this, which will be this one. No, sorry. This one. This one? No, maybe this one. Yeah, maybe this one. Okay. Sorry, guys. You see my little template here, and then I'll put the little breathing holes or whatever there. Yeah, there we go. Good. Good. And then this is like leather, and that's metal. So let's see how, you know what, I'm going to use actually this pen, this brush pen, to do this one. Because it's much thicker. And this is a bigger, like, this is a larger depiction drawing, I think. And I'm not going to put the kind of detail that I did with the other zombies in this one, but I'm going to add a lot of well, you'll see. I'm going to put a lot of contrast in. Lots of contrast. So this will really come out, I think, really turn out. And I'm going to put another couple of, there we go, a bit of those stitches in there. Because I really want his head to be kind of like round but misshapen at the same time. You know? So he's got those stitches. And that goes with the medical sort of idea. You know, like he's a plague doctor, but you know, he's got ailments of his own. Like he's got problems of his own. You know what I mean? Like he's got those stitches, probably brain tampering and whatnot. You know, so thinking of those things too when you draw really help. You know, kind of the backstory, or drawing the creature or drawing the character or whatever it is. You know, and you get away when you kind of do the backstory in your mind. You know, have that backstory of the character in there. You know, so yeah, really helps you draw. Really helps you draw. And I'm going to add a little bit of a shadow in there to give it some thickness. And yeah, I really like this. Yeah, I really like what it turned into, because this was definitely not what it started, how it started at all, you know. And oh, damn it, sorry guys, I'm trying to be in frame there. Okay, sorry. Yeah, like. Putting in those details with this thicker pen is a lot, you can tell, is a lot better, and I think works much more for this sort of more smooth, creature. I am gonna put some like sort of smaller details in there, but I kind of like the more simplistic approach to this, and have a smoother texture. Like kind of the skin's not rotting, but it's definitely dead, dead flesh, like Pinhead has got that dead flesh, look to him, yeah, there we go. And again, I want to make the head look misshapen so that those bands are really, tight around his head, and the stitches are, again, very prominent. So thicken them up a little bit. Oh my goodness, guys, it's after midnight. I'm gonna have to probably call it an evening. But man, look at all the stuff that we got done tonight. That's crazy. Like, wow, we got a lot of things done. This is crazy too. I love this. You know what? I'm gonna add a couple of things in here to satisfy myself. I am gonna do like a lot of corroded sort of metal here for his beak, for his head thing. Maybe. Oh, you know what? I'm actually gonna maybe put, what do you call it, stitches in there, or this, yeah, yes, yeah, I love that. Okay, good. And you know what? I'm gonna take this. See, and I'm still working stuff out because I already inked that surface, but I'm going to take this out with the whiteout pen. And again, this is all legal. It's all nice and legal. Whatever it takes to create the image that you want. Whatever it takes, with the ink, with the whiteout, with all that stuff. Using different pens, like I'm using different pens for this. I was showing you that I was using the chisel pen for these details, like the ripped parts and like, you know, where the thicker lines in the fabric go, man, that's going to look so good, you know. And then when I add the little spots in there for the, you know, the dress pattern, that's going to really take shape, you know. So again, like a lot of these are in their, like, you know, they're always like an ugly phase, right? There's always a phase where, you know, oh man, it doesn't look like it's gonna, you know, be good. And man, I've almost abandoned things at that phase where I'm like, I don't know if I could bring it back, you know, because it really looks like I either messed it up, or it's beyond repair, or, you know, it's in that ugly phase, and I think there's like a lot of work to be done, but, you know, I persevere, and then it ends up being really quite something. So, you know, having almost that you know, that drive to fix it and to make it work is almost worth it, you know. And a lot of people won't even notice what you're talking about, what you're referring to in your art. But you'll know if something's good or not, or needs a lot of work, or, you know, needs to be trashed. And man, I'll show you some of my flubs, man. I'll show you some of my flubs. Stuff that I finished almost, and I was like, no, I just don't like it, you know. So that happens. It happens to me anyway. I don't know if it happens to other people. You know, I don't know if it happens to other artists, or they're just spot on all the time. That's a possibility. I'm not even kidding about that. Like, I don't know. I like I said before, like I've done comics. I do comics. I'm doing a comic right now, but I'm not a comic book artist. I'm not, like, you know, somebody asked me once, and I really realized at that point, somebody asked me once if I ever wanted to win an award, or what award I would want, or something. And I said, I wouldn't be entered into any type of award thing, because I'm not anything. Like, I'm just an artist that does zombie portraits and stuff. Like, I'm not a comic book artist. Like, I don't do comics for companies. Like, I've done that, but I don't do that on a regular basis. That's not my job. Like, I've done all these things, but I'm not any one of those things, you know. That's just the way it is. That's just the way I ended up being this type of artist. So because of zombie portraits, you know, I like, it's left the door open for me to do like tons of cool things. You know, thank goodness. I'm so thankful for that, because like, if I would have done anything else, I think I just would have been doing that and not all these other things, you know, like doing, you know, decks of cards for Bicycle, and working for the Walking Dead show, and doing all these other wonderful things, and having all these other wonderful opportunities. You know, I kind of be just this guy, and that's it. So, you know, being the zombie portrait guy, or being the zombie guy, has really allowed me to, you know, work on a lot of great stuff, like amazing things that I never would have thought I'd, you know, be given the opportunity for. But yeah, you always take them. You always take those opportunities, man. You know, and if you don't know if you can do it, you take the opportunity anyway, and you learn. You know, I've always just been like, you know, I always think that I can't do something, but then, like, you know, I sort of will myself to do it, type of thing, you know. Like, if I'm worried about, like, oh, I don't know if I can do that, you know, you just buckle down and do it. You just sort of, like, put your head down and figure it out, man. You know, art wise. Cause I've been there before, man. Like, you know, when you're like unsure of whether or not you can, you know, create something. And that happens throughout your career. Like, if you're an artist too, like, I think, again, like, I don't know, but for me, it's been a thing where, you know, like, even at the beginning when you know, when I would do custom stuff, and people would be like, one of the first things, or one of the early things that I had to do a custom of for someone was that American Gothic painting. Oh, I'm not wearing that shirt today, but that American Gothic painting, you know, with the farmer and his wife in front of their house type of thing. It's a classic painting. Everybody knows that one. So somebody asked me to do that, like, as a custom for them, and I was like, okay, now I have to figure out how to do, like, you know, do a good version, a believable version of that cover, but with watercolor. And that was, you know, and watercolor and pen and ink. And that was like, you know, an oil painting, right? So you're trying to create that feel and look, but with a different medium. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. And then, you know, you do it, right? You figure it out. You figure out how to do it. You know, I wasn't going to say, no, I can't do this. You know, I'm going to figure out how to do it. So, yeah, and then you just learn from that, right? You learn from that. And, and in doing it, you kind of actually overachieve, because you're really worried that you're not going to do a good job, so you'll kind of overcompensate, you know, and do a really good job, you know. So yeah, man. You know, it's always good to say yes to stuff when you're an artist and see if you can do it, you know. And that's why I love doing customs. I like doing custom orders, and I love doing pet portraits and, like, you know, things like that, like straight up stuff, not just zombie stuff, but straight up stuff, because, you know, you get to test your chops, man. You get to you know, see if you can hang with the really good inkers and illustrators, man. That's why I've always done it. And, you know, I know a lot of other artists kind of look down on doing customs for people and stuff like that, because, oh, you know, I shouldn't have to do that. I'm an established artist or whatever. I think maybe is a bit of the attitude or whatnot, but I love that. Like, I think that's a challenge, and I love doing that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I mean, you know, put yourself in a situation where you might have to sweat a little bit, and it kind of helps you, you know, it kind of helps you grow, right? Yes. Good advice, Rob. Good advice. It's either sink or swim. We're going to need a bigger boat and all the rest of the tropes. But yeah, little Pac-Man ghost tear in the clothing there. Another little ghost there. We'll see what happens to those things as I go. Yes, there's no such things as ghosts. There. Yeah, that looks great. I like that. Those nice thick lines from the chisel pen, and then you can even see the ink is even more intense, very, very dark, and those nice thick to thin feathery lines with that chisel pen too. Really love that. And again, quick motions with the hand. Try to take the grasshopper out of my hand. Don't know what accent that was, but definitely not anything. Try again, dum-dum. There we go. And then I'm going to add some more, you know, detailed dirt things, particles, hatching, rips, tears, and then when it's dark enough, and then when it's just dark enough, you add the dress pattern. With I'm going to probably end up using this guy to do the dress pattern in the dress, in the tattered dress. And again, I'm going to make it dark enough so that they show up. So there is a lot of white in there now. There's a lot of like white in the dress still, but by the time I finish inking it, it'll be much darker. Even the white ripped parts, yeah. So, those things to think of down the line in the drawing. And again, weird hands, like, wow, those hands look very bizarre. They look almost demonic, or they don't look human anymore. But, it's almost like she's dead flesh that is being used as a vessel for the demonic possession. So yeah, absolutely still a zombie, because controlled dead flesh, right? Could still consider that a zombie. It's just a type of zombie. There's many types of zombies, and that's the beauty of zombies. Zombies. Yeah, man. No, it's true. That's why I'll never tire of doing this. Like, there's a trillion different types of zombies on top of the fact there's a trillion different types of things you can zombify. So yeah, what, me worry? No, I'll always have something to draw, man. I'll always have, and like, look at all the Pokemons. Look at all the Pokemons. I'm doing all those as zombies too. I'm gonna be doing at least 10 more Pokemons. Pokemons. It's Peacemaker all over again. This week's episode was great, so yes, definitely watch that. I love James Gunn's take on the DC Universe, man, so far. So fingers crossed they don't screw it up, because I find he's doing a great job right now, man. I find he's doing a great job. I really like Superman. I love Peacemaker, man. Like, Cena's doing a great job in there, and so are the rest of the cast. Like, man, what a great show. What a great show. I love that show. I love stuff that's inspiring, man. And then, if that's a show that I like to watch, get some inspiration from, I like the mood. I like the way it's shot, the mood, and all that stuff. So again, seeing all that stuff goes into your gear, man. Like, it goes into your experience, and that comes out in your art, in some way, shape, or form. And again, like, just recalling a certain pattern or anything that you see, and then using that in your art is like, that's just more experience stuff that you can use. And it's wonderful. It's wonderful to be able to recall that and utilize it, and make it part of your unique thing that you do, your unique art, And again, I always encourage people to draw, man. It's a great way to relax. It's a great way to sort of think on a different level. Think with a different part of your brain's working, and you'd be amazed at the things you can do and how you feel after a night of drawing, or even a day of drawing, or drawing during your commute. Getting a sketchbook on there, on that conveyance with you while you're sitting there for a while, and just draw stuff. Yeah. There. Wow, we have done a lot, guys. I think I'm gonna have to call it an evening and bid you a fair adieu. But we will pick this up on the next edition. Yeah, so let's see what we've done today. Oh my God! Gotta find my circle template next time. Look at all the stuff that we did. Look at this. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna get the camera up there. Look at that. All from scratch. This was all blank paper when we started, and look how far we've come. Yeah, I'm gonna get the camera up a little higher, even, and check that out. Wow, look at that. And you know what? That was what, 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours, and we did 5 drawings. And oh man, we almost got that one. Like that one's like really, really fleshed out. A lot of them are stages of inking basically. I haven't started inking this guy yet, but man, I can't wait. It's gonna be great. Look at all the stuff that we did tonight. 3.5 hours, and all this stuff was blank back then, way back then. But now, look at that. That's great. Look at that. That's so fun. That's so fun. Yeah, and it's not even finished. It's not even finished. There's more to do. There's more to do. And these guys you will see on the Zombie Daily page, which is my Patreon, which the link is in the description below. Please check out the Patreon page. Please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video. And guys, always, you're more than welcome to ask any questions about art. During the time that you can add that into the comments during the time that in between live streams, and I will get to your questions the next live stream. If you have questions about art, the industry, conventions, things of that nature, please feel free to ask questions in the comments, and I will get to them. But in the meantime, guys, thank you so much for watching. I look forward to the next live stream where we're going to add some more. Hey man, we could do more on this, and we can even do new stuff. So who knows what's going to happen next, but I do want to get a lot of these done for you guys so you can actually see the entire process top to bottom. But again, we did so much tonight, and I'm really glad you guys could stop in and get your daily dose of the undead. Daily dose of the undead. That's what you do on Zombie Daily. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Best wishes and love. Until next time. Bye for now.